You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
All right, thank you for the introduction. Great to be back here at Big Ten Media Days representing USC. It's been a tremendous offseason, and this day certainly always brings, I think, a lot of momentum and excitement in terms of fall camp and everything that's right on the horizon.
Overall, and certainly a lot of things have changed, but there's a lot that's stayed the same as well. A lot of conversation, especially the last couple of years here, just about the business of college football, and rightfully so. But, I think the good thing about all this for all of us is this kind of signifies the start of us transitioning into pure football.
That's where the greatest changes have happened. And a lot of you probably have not recognized this. Over the last 9 months, there's been a hell of a lot of changes. And to the naked eye and to the fan, I don't know that you could see them all. But to the people from within the program, meaning the players, the coaches, the people that are really close to this team, have seen and felt a difference.
And I think it's proven in the modern era of the Big Ten in college football, this conference is the best in the country. And I know it has prestigious academic institutions that go from coast to coast, storied football traditions that go down generations. And for me, I couldn't be more humbled and grateful to be here.
Good morning. Welcome in Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
Oh, we're all right. How are you?
I'm cool.
Yeah, just hanging out, hanging in there.
Yeah. I much to do about nothing. Mike had to be at school early, and for whatever the reason, Zoe tapped on the bathroom door. It was 6:10. I was like, "What are you doing?" She goes, "What are you doing?" I said, I'm talking to her through the shower screen, and I said, "What do you get to the point?" She looked, I'm looking through the mesh part because it's opaque or whatever, and she goes, she rolled her eyes. She's like, "It's too early for this." I said, "I know it's going to be a wild day."
Yeah, I'm going to work. I don't need to deal with this right now.
You want to come back at her, but she'd already closed the door. I poked my head in there right before I left. She'd gotten back in bed. Do you know what she was watching?
What?
Blackish.
Okay.
Yeah, poor parenting. I mean, just poor parenting. I was like, what is going on? That has definitely got to be between her and her mom.
Is that the Anthony Anderson show?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe she got it from Breeze, but it's too early for this. It's a girl, if you don't get out of here.
I thought you were going to say Bluey or something. Nah, Blackish.
No. She was watching Young Sheldon for a minute.
Is she too old for Bluey?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know what the time frames are for the different kids shows. You know what I mean?
She's
Nobody's too old for Bluey.
Well, Bluey sucks. I'm just.
You take that back right now.
So is that what they're into?
That's what Miles is going to be into soon.
Yeah.
The kids still kind of like it.
I'm just saying. You know what I mean? I just. You're going to go through phases. I don't know if you get any cool cartoons. They're so young. They don't watch anything good.
I'm trying to introduce the kids to the cartoons I used to watch.
Yeah, you got to give me.
I don't think you can. I think you missed a good stretch though, because
he's all into anime.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they're not watching that yet.
Back that week.
Well, they're watching the anime movies.
Paul likes anime.
Yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh, Xavier Betts. That they like. I'm a Super Friends, Thunder.
I was a big 90s Spider-Man cartoon.
Who else, Shane? Thundercats, He-Man.
Transformers, G.I.
Yeah,
Joe.
Transformers, G.I. Joe.
You act like I didn't watch all those.
I believe in this thing called syndication. I just didn't know what was young and current when you were 12. -6.
It was kind of current.
Was it?
It was still going. Transformers was definitely still going.
Transformers.
Yeah, but they had changed the animation. It had gotten kind of wonky.
I watched He-Man. I actually just watched Masters of the Universe. Finished it the other day.
Yeah, I was disappointed. If you're gonna get to almost 2 hours, you need to.
Like the live action movie?
Yeah,
Yeah. It didn't look very good.
they
They did a good job with Skeletor.
left a little. Yeah. Thunder or Battle Cat left a little to be desired.
Yeah, well, he wasn't there enough.
Yeah.
I heard that.
Well, was that what you heard?
That's what I heard. That was the big gripe.
Oh.
You haven't seen it yet, Shane?
I have not.
Seems right up your alley.
It is. It should be, but it's probably not gonna be.
I don't know, Shane. You like a lot of bad movies.
You're funny. Funny dude.
Never know. I was big like 90s Spider-Man. That was my jam.
The animation.
Yeah, that was
the boys they're watching. Caleb yesterday, he had it on during dinner, which almost got cut off, but he was watching Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like the newer series where he's in high school.
Yeah.
Not newer, it's probably 04-ish.
Mm-hmm.
But 90s was the best with like the cool Kingpin and Daredevil was on there a few times.
They had a really good like Venom run in that one.
Yeah.
Did you watch where was somebody just had it? I missed it.
Boy, I am not surprised at it. Fresh off the boat for your family, and he's only 11. Yep, that tracks. That dude's gonna be talking sarcastic and slick, just like his parents.
Who's that?
Sadie. He said they just started fresh off the boat.
Oh, you gotta be careful there.
I don't. I mean, I get the premise of it, but I've never watched this. Mask was nice too. Good pull. Mask.
You know what else?
That was towards the end of the good stuff.
Yep. You're right.
This might have been a little late for you. Were you?
Why are you talking so drawn out?
Well, I'm just trying to.
Yes.
Were you Batman Begins or not Batman Begins?
I liked Batman.
The young Batman.
Batman Beyond.
Yes, Beyond.
Yeah,
that was pretty good.
There were some stretches. The animation changed, right?
Yeah.
With the blocked jaws and the big eyes.
Yeah,
it's not. Shane and I get into that all the time.
I'm old school Scooby Doo.
I'm more about the stories and the animation. Like unless it's really bad.
I need it drawn correctly.
Yeah, unless it's really bad. It doesn't.
I like a little more hard edges. I don't. Yeah. You know what I mean? I
enjoyed Batman Beyond a lot.
I like detail.
Because that's the one where he's like in high school, right? Like he's young.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
Batman Beyond is like after Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne's his mentor.
Yeah.
But it's like
a high school kid.
Have you seen the preview? You might have got it for the Odyssey.
Which one?
Clayface?
Oh, I don't think it was in the Odyssey, but I've seen the preview.
It looks a more horror-ish.
It does look a little
Doesn't
horror-ish.
it, Shane? I pronounced it correctly.
No, it said horror-ish. It looks a little horror-ish.
I listen, man. First 25 minutes in here, I'm on edge.
I only get you when you got it coming.
I have to be very crisp and clear.
Alex, I was a big Animaniacs guy too.
No, Speed Racer had that nonsensical drawing style, TJ. Even though TJ's got. Wait, he said, I forgot. So,
He's
you know
what?
I forgot he was still in his young 20s.
Yeah.
My man works.
Yeah, he's a pup.
He's got a good job to be 23.
Yeah, good for him, man.
Huh.
Yeah.
Maybe I should move zip codes. I don't know, but that piece of equipment I Googled the other day that he said he ran, I
guess probably not for me.
Somebody's going to have to learn me. They're not just going to be like, here, run this.
You just hand the keys. There you go, bud.
Well, I don't think he has to drive it.
Well, I don't know.
Did you see that press machine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good on
a lot of those like machineries.
Pinky in the Brain was funny.
Oh, Pinky in the Brain was good. That's the Animaniac spinoff, though.
Yeah.
I was a big Animaniacs guy.
If I could reach you, I would hurt you. All right. That was my jam. I think the silliest of the dumb drawing cartoons I watched was probably Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, really?
It's like, Ren, you idiot.
Yeah, I wasn't a Ren and Stimpy guy.
Funny. I used to try to slide that in on Sunday mornings before it got serious at my house with Sunday breakfast and having to go to church.
Yeah.
Be about 9 o'clock, man. You try to get the last little
laugh in
before you had to traipse upstairs and be all scared.
Ren and Stimpy was good.
No, Ren and Stimpy was funny.
Emmett says, listen, I'm dumb as hell and I got learned up on it. It's not that bad.
Yeah. Humble. Hold humble Emmett. That's okay.
I think we've talked about this. Did you ever watch? This was like, it was only out for about 2 years. There was this cartoon called Hysteria.
I know what it is.
So like it's these little like baby versions of historical characters.
Yeah.
It was really funny. I think it was the same people that made Animaniacs. I liked that show a lot.
Yeah, the humor was yes, Kobe. I love to. Now I don't know if I would say I'm good, but I love to draw.
I've seen your drawing. Like some were pretty good.
Yeah, like I like to draw.
You had that one of Brunts that was good. Remember?
Oh yeah,
That was pretty solid.
Yeah, I like to draw Cobes. I feel like we dap up. I can't be calling him Cobes.
I don't know. You can do whatever you want.
Sometimes I just say Cobes. Cobes. I don't know that.
That's like mama. That's like mama treatment, though. You gotta be careful there.
Yeah, we might be too old for that.
What up, Cobes?
But I hit Neutron with AJ.
I mean, you hit Austin with about 10 different nicknames.
So
He's
listen,
got like the
TJ,
whole
I used to go
Rolodex.
into character of Speedy Gonzalez, and then I realized
I don't think you can do that anymore.
I can't do that anymore. I used to have a whole bit. Me and my sister Kim. No, I'd be Slowpoke Rodriguez.
He can do it.
No, he really can't. You're taking some liberties with the whole Puerto Rican thing.
What are you
Like,
talking about? You trying to say my people can't say that?
I don't know. That would be like Wyatt saying he represents all
Asia.
Pacific. Yeah.
I'm not gonna fight him.
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean,
I'm probably not going to Botswana, like doing any clicking noises.
I wouldn't fight you if you did.
They would.
Well,
I
yeah.
wouldn't last 2 seconds in Rwanda. Rather be in Chicago. No, actually, I wouldn't. Depends on where I'm at in Chicago.
Somebody asked everybody King of the Hill fans. Yeah, I like some King of the Hill.
Is that Hank?
Yeah, King of the Hill had like
You know what?
it was very like character dependent in the sense like certain episodes were focused on different characters. The funny episodes of King of the Hill were like really, really elite,
And
but
is-
it had some valleys.
Isn't it making a comeback too?
I think so.
Big,
Yeah,
Big Game Hunt. You know,
Yeah, they're on their second season of the new
like anything that
and propane
like-
accessories.
Peggy or Luann focused was not really my jam, but anything that was like Hank or Bobby or any of the neighbors, like Boomhauer episodes were funny.
Is Bobby the one that had that? You know, he had that little voice.
Yeah.
That's my purse.
I don't know you.
God damn it, Bobby.
That boy ain't right.
It's tough. Chat's loose already.
That's the like so I've been saying that's my purse. I don't know you for like 15 years and
Just
nobody ever knows what I'm talking about.
That's my purse. I don't know you.
Wow.
It's one of like so I don't know if you see that episode, but like Bobby decides to take a self-defense class, but it's like a women's self-defense class. So like all the stuff
Is Bobby feminine?
no, but he's a little goofy.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes. Like I wouldn't say an overarching thing is he's feminine. He's just a little goofy and a little soft compared to Hank. And so he takes his self-defense class, but it's geared to I think Luann tells him to. And so he takes his self-defense class, but it's geared towards women. So all the defense is like you hit him with your purse or whatever, and like all this stuff. And so like he learns this. He's like, you yell as long as you can, and you kick him in the groin. So he just like runs around like. So I think he's getting picked on by like a bully. So he obviously doesn't carry a purse, and so he just when the bully gets to him, he just yells, "That's my purse! I don't know you!" And he kicks him in the nuts. It's really funny. He does it like 4 times in the episode. It's just really funny.
Shane, this was quick, but did you ever watch not Godzilla with Godzuki, but Godzilla like the series?
Yeah.
I watched that on YouTube probably 3 weeks ago on a Saturday night into Sunday morning.
Yeah.
It was like 9 episodes.
Is it like 85 or something?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was later than that, Shane. Later than that.
Okay.
Because you could get like the first season on YouTube, and I was like, "Ooh, this must have flew under the radar."
Yeah. Like full episodes and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah. Nice drawing. They like controlled Godzilla. He was kind of like a good guy,
Okay.
but it was like young kids. They actually had a couple brothers. Shane, it was the same animation as the folks that did one of the Batmans that Ravi's talking about. That's the same kind of drawing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's legit. I always know when Kobe's mad at you because he drops Robbie.
Oh, he's always mad at me. It's fine.
So I figured out why you were mad at me a couple of months ago or about a month ago in the group text.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know that Robbie was an accident.
No, I know. I figured that's why.
Because when I got here in the morning, you're like, you kind of pissed me off. And I was like, huh?
Yeah, I apologize for it, though.
And I was like, what'd I do?
Yeah. And then because I realized later it was probably a voice to text.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's my bad. I was in a mood.
Hey, but guess what, though? Because I hate making this, I hate doubling down on a mistake.
What's that?
What do I do now?
Do you double check it?
No.
It's
It's
called
almost
L3.
It's always almost L3. I don't even use Ravi.
Yeah. Nah. To be fair, you didn't that much anyway, but like on the one-offs, yeah.
I mean, maybe you might get the occasional Ravi.
Yeah. That's usually on the phone though.
Yeah.
Because you can't really like spell it out that well.
Like, hey man, what's up? Stop answering the phone like that.
Why? It's my go-to.
Scott, I love the series. I felt he asked me about, you like how I just talked for our podcast. I'm listening for Neutron to say, hey, for our podcast listeners, Scott, my fantastic neighbor said, DB, have you finished? I Will Find You. Thoughts? So this is what I'm responding to. Is that how that works?
Sure.
Oh, by the way, we're supposed to say good morning.
Good morning, podcast listeners.
And streamers.
Well, I'm the podcast guy. You're the streamers guy. Remember?
That's right.
That's how we divvied it up.
Yeah, my bad. I felt like the ending was rushed, but I don't mind an 8-episode series.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of prefer it for the most part. There's some where I was like, I wish there was more, but I kind of like getting through stuff.
And spoiler alert, or do I do the spoiler alert?
For what?
So it's the second show that I've watched, and I binged both of them. The other one was Absentia.
Okay.
Where there's a separation of the family nucleus.
Okay.
And at the end, it's not one happy ending.
Mm.
And that surprised me with.
So they don't like reunite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute. He's going to be going to both houses. I mean, not that that's not a thing.
There's some people that works for them. In this economy, though,
I feel like a boy for the Bulls. Yeah, you know what I mean? Did you? I thought I was like, I kind of need a happier ending.
No, I get that.
It was very good though.
Does it at least like resolve itself?
Yeah,
just not in the way you wanted.
I mean, it was complicated.
Yeah.
And they threw me a couple of, what do you call it when it's not really what you think, but they make there's a couple red herrings.
Oh, yeah.
But then I was like, wait a minute, it's episode 6. He can't be sitting in front of the bad guy already. How are they going to drag this out?
For 2 more episodes?
Yeah, so then I knew it wasn't him.
Yeah.
But one of the actors I liked, he was in, he has the hard to pronounce name. He's in This Is Us. He was the dad. It starts with a V. I always want to say Vigo. It's not. It's because that's Viggo Mortensen, but that's Eastern Bloc.
Oh, Milo Ventimiglia. I gave it a shot. I don't know.
That sounds correct.
But Milo, that him?
Yes.
Okay.
I like him a ton. And about episode 5, I was like, I'm on to you, you little son of a gun.
Oh, yeah. He plays Rocky's kid in Rocky Balboa.
So is that trailer real? There's one more Rocky?
I don't think so.
I haven't seen it. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Man, this AI stuff is wearing me the flip out.
They might be doing, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they did another Creed, but I don't think they're doing another
No,
Rocky.
it's I Am Stallone. It's like
that is
Rocky.
That's real. Yes.
The I Am Stallone is real.
It's the I Play Rocky.
And the guy, he actually reads like this.
Yeah.
Go Adrian.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not a Rocky movie. It's about Stallone's life.
yeah, like him betting on himself.
Yes. Yeah. That's real. Yes.
He was a bomb chicky wow wow guy.
Yeah, briefly.
That's wild.
Yeah, he was briefly doing a little exotic movies.
I mean, I was clear.
I mean,
You don't think people know bomb chicky wow wow?
I don't know.
Bomb chicky wow wow. You know.
There was a lot of people like that in the 70s that did that.
Well, why? How do you know?
It's on Wikipedia.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's on their filmography, Shane. Sure.
Yeah.
Just AI it.
You'll
You'll find out.
He said Wikipedia. No, it's Wikipedia. It wouldn't be on Wikipedia. Weirdo.
Wikipedia is a different site.
That must have been what he was on. How would he know?
You don't look up Sylvester Stallone and it's like copy repairman. Like that's not on his Wikipedia.
Yeah, pretty sure Ron Jeremy wasn't in North Dallas 40.
You don't know that.
It's like pizza delivery guy number 3. It's like, nope, that's not on his Wikipedia for
North Dallas 40s.
Well, it is Ass Wednesday.
See.
nonsense.
I could say, hey, the grass is green, and somehow it turns into a bit. Rico, that comes too easy for you. I'm just saying. I mean, North Dallas 40, there's no way you've even seen North Dallas 40.
I have not.
Oh.
I haven't either. It's a good joke, though.
It's older.
No, I've heard of it. I've heard of it. I just haven't seen it. That's a good joke, though.
I knew somebody was going to do that, but they had to be older, and Ken did it.
What do you do?
That's what I was waiting on. But I know there's no way you guys have seen that. Boy, Ken is slick.
Yeah.
Didn't he just IDAGF somebody about feelings a minute ago? Was that Ken?
Nah, I mean, I wouldn't.
Sometimes I get him and Kel Jim mixed up because they both will slit your throat.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me at all. It's hard to tell. We got some throat cutters here in the chat.
I got to go back to Hunter. I can't. Okay, stop. Like,
What's happening right now?
is that somebody's real name? That is atrocious.
I don't think so.
Is that James' daughter?
I think
Bambi Woods, Misty Winter.
Wait, Rico.
I think those might be stage names.
Let's. Hey, Neutron. Jeez.
I just want to apologize to my friends' kids that watch the show pretty regularly. I hope they're not up yet.
What is see? That was Austin. Yeah. I can't. But
no,
then Numbnuts over here is just reading.
Yeah.
Just keep it pushing, Swat.
I don't know what you're
Those
talking
are
about.
stage names. I don't think those are
You
real.
sure about that?
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure.
What a goof. No, that was Ken. He's doubling down. Yeah, feelings don't matter.
I'm sorry, Brett and Angie. I hope the boys aren't up yet.
I'm sorry. See, now everybody just it is a creative chat.
Yeah, unfortunately, sometimes it gets us.
Hey, can I ask you something real quick before we get to sportsy, because it is Big Ten media.
There's a lot going on.
Do you like Petitti as a spokesperson?
I actually thought he did a pretty good job yesterday.
For what his background is, I think he's evolved nicely.
Yeah.
Now, the playoff models and some of that stuff the last year and a half has driven me crazy, right? The ideology and all.
I understand how he landed at those positions, though.
I do not.
Okay.
But
I mean, that's fair.
No, we're different. I mean, clearly.
Yeah.
Although,
what are we doing?
I was just saying what the complexion, but the sun's got to cut through your hair, though.
It does. Yeah.
You know, I was changing quick to do the training yesterday, and Palmer pulled up the same time I did, so I hadn't put my sweatshirt on yet. I was in my T-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, he got out of the car, and he goes, "Do you reverse farmer tan?" I said, "Look, man, you just got in the 7th grade. You can't ask me that." "No, give me my sweatshirt." I'm trying to put it on real quick. What kind of little guy asked me that?
Yeah, so it's weird. So I got weird tan lines because this arm gets really dark until about here because I wear a sweatband.
Yeah,
and then this arm
is this your tennis problems again?
Yeah, this arm doesn't because I wear a sleeve on this arm, so this arm doesn't get tanned at all. And then I got the ankle brace lines, which are pretty aggressive.
Oh yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah,
you need to do something about that.
Well, am I gonna go tanning? Like, what do you want me to do?
I mean, just hit the back deck.
I don't just sit outside all day like you do. I like air conditioning. I'm not just also like I don't have anything in my house I'm trying to avoid. Like I'm just trying to like.
It's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
I didn't see Micah for the first 4 hours, so
I just go down to the basement.
I smelled that the kitchen had been cooked in, so I knew somebody had some bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah, the grocery games. I mean, Caleb's been home 13 hours, the grocery game changes.
I was gonna say, how many times have you ever been to the grocery store? About 3.
Well, I was locked and loaded pretty much. It's just the fridge is amazingly clear though. I mean, leftovers got ran through.
Oh yeah. I mean, you think Micah's bad, but now you got 2 of them.
I was just gonna ask you something about Petitti, but I have one more food thing.
Yeah.
What, Rico? You might not be old enough yet, and Shane, you still eat like you're super poor, so no judgment here. But that didn't sound right. Let me rephrase that.
You eat very economically.
Shane, what's 1 or 2 things that even if you had a ton of money that you will still eat like you're on a budget?
Like that you just enjoy?
Yeah, like
probably the
poor people food.
like the Hy-Vee meals or the
That's not that's a good
or the lunch meat stuff.
like
the lunch meat's good. Where you
like
just
Carl
buy-
Buddig.
where you
No, just like the ham and the turkey and the roast beef and all that stuff.
like you buy
That's regular people. I mean, not regular people. What's the term I'm looking for? Like financially, people that aren't on a budget grocery shopping. Like,
So I would like if I had just like tons of money, I'd probably be eating like steak and hamburger.
would you
and
still eat like hamburger
chicken.
helper and stuff like that?
I don't eat that. I don't cook.
Oh, you
so-
can't cook. I'm always gonna eat beef bologna.
the one. So the one for me
I'm
is
always gonna eat beef bologna. I know that for sure.
I
think I'm always gonna eat Kipper snacks too.
there's a couple. Number 1, I love Kraft mac and cheese out the box.
Yeah. Is that's still got to be like $1.69?
It's
right?
I think it's under $2, yeah. And I like it, and I'm a child. I like it when you chop up the hot dogs and put it in there.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. So that's a struggle meal you're never gonna get away
No, I
from.
love that.
So should I be saying like the minute rice?
Ooh, that's he's got a good one. Totino's pizza. That's a good one.
Okay,
Like the little Totinos
I
that
think-
used to be like 59 cents.
I think a lot of people.
I'm
would
on
be
Totino's.
with. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people would be with Heath on that.
I'm on Totino's pizza for sure.
Rico.
Spam.
You're Austin.
Yeah, yeah.
Arch says
But
turkey
it's-
spam.
But it's also just
Spam
like
is
the.
not really like a struggle thing now. It's
I know everybody's using it now.
yeah, it's like oxtails. Like it's like the
It
cool
really was back in
overpriced
the-
thing now.
It
Yeah,
really
it's
was
weird.
back in the day though. Like it was
Yeah,
a
do
real
you know?
struggle.
Do you know? I know you're right. We took a family vacation when I was a kid. My dad had an educational conference, but it was in Canada. It was in Toronto.
Yeah.
He was a go get groceries guy.
Oh, at like hotels?
Yeah, we had spam,
Yeah.
and if he's buying spam, it was
Cheap.
cheap.
The other one for me is Totino's is a really good one. The other one for me is poverty nachos.
That's just shredded cheese and chips.
Yeah, you just put the tortilla chips on a plate, you sprinkle shredded cheese over it, and put it in the microwave for like 40 seconds. You're good to go. I love poverty nachos.
Rico, were you a buttered bread with like sugar?
Yes, I was
Yeah.
gonna say that, or like the tortillas where you put like cinnamon and butter on it, and then you just like what we did is we put it like on the stove, to
Yeah.
crisp it up like that. Or now you like cut it into little slices, so then you have little cinnamon rolls, but it's with the tortilla strips.
I looked at a because I get the smaller beef bologna because
You don't need, like, nobody else eats it.
so, but I looked at the bigger one yesterday. It's beef bologna,
Mhm.
OSCAR, is $8.
Dang.
7 Nina.
What it used to be.
Not that. Shane, your lunch meat that you can get like the 2 for $8s, and I think it's Hillshire, right?
It is Hillshire, yes.
Is significantly cheaper.
Yeah,
Oscar Mayer beef bologna
Yeah.
is $7.99.
that's aggressive.
I have the honey ham sitting in my fridge right now.
I thought of you the day before yesterday. They got 2-fers, but it's only select, like rotisserie chicken. I saw, and
Which is
maybe
okay.
maybe oven brown turkey.
I don't know what that one is, but
They weren't all that like.
they weren't like the better ones.
No, I looked at hard salami for Zoe because she's super particular, and that wasn't included. She likes Deluso, and I was like, you need a job.
That's what you do not have a Deluso budget, little girl.
It's $11.99 a pound, and I feel like for have her only eat 7 pieces in 12 days is
it's not gonna cut it.
And I mean, I guess I could go there. Like, would you go to a deli and say I'd like a quarter of a pound, an eighth of a pound? Even cheese, when I used to buy it sliced, I'd go half.
Yeah, a half makes sense. You're going to like an eighth, you can start getting a little weird there, but I don't know.
People look at you sideways.
I don't know. I don't go to butcher shops a lot. I just do.
Oh man, I stay back there.
Well,
hey, could I have $6 worth of sliced cheese?
You also run through way more protein than I do.
Oh yeah, you should have seen my dinner yesterday.
Yeah,
two baby fillets and like some pieces of raw fish.
Cody said, once you make homemade mac and cheese with bow ties and Velveeta, you'll never eat Kraft again. Yeah, that's not true at all.
Yeah, so you like hot dogs cut up in your macaroni?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, see, Archers, like I think ramen is one of those things like Spam.
I've done ramen. Yeah, where it's like got fancy now.
Yeah, you go and you get a $14 bowl. The fancy name is pho because the broth, it apparently sits around for 7 days getting, all the seasonings and the flavor. Nah, that's just like bath water. Now you guys are charging me $16 for it because you put some scallions and
yeah, but it's food bath water, so it's different.
You know what I mean? I'm like, why would I pay $18 for soup for you to top it off with a little piece of raw meat?
Because I put an egg in there.
Oh, that's fancy. But you're right. That's what.
Yeah, they do. They put the egg in there. And
oh, don't talk, man. You guys with your biryani drive me crazy.
You guys? What do you mean, you guys?
Oh, sorry.
I love when you unintentionally say things like that.
I was about to go in too, so I was comfortable.
I'm kind of mad Ravi made you stop.
That's my bad. I just
never mind. I like your biryani.
Cody, I do like little smoky.
I was about to go in too. I was like, how you gonna charge me extra for eggs? Who's boiling one egg at a time?
Eggs are not super common in Indian food.
Well, I know it's in biryani. Biryani.
Yeah,
biryani.
There's not a lot of stuff.
He said, "Who's you guys?"
I will say I will do little smokies and barbecue sauce, Cody. I'll mess with that.
Oh, I was about to just have a 60-second meltdown. Man, I'm on the phone and I was like, "What?"
I hit that e-brake. What do you mean, you guys?
Man, he got to talking fast. I was like, "Slow down."
What do you sound like?
No.
Just park it.
Yeah.
No, this is so the Kraft Mac. So this is actually funny. So in I'm trying to think when it was. It was a couple years ago. Natasha was home for something and she was like, "Hey, like I don't mind cooking tonight. Like, what do you want? Like the
floor. The
She was just like, "Hey, like we've got a bunch of groceries. Like whatever you want, let me know." And like for whatever reason,
hey Rico, Ravi's like a kept man.
For whatever reason, listen, like I told you, she's got her responsibilities. I got my responsibilities.
That dude's like a kept. I mean, semi charmed life.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I got it pretty good.
Double income, no kids.
She's like, "Hey, I'll make," and she's obviously very good at what she does. She's like, "I'll make whatever you want." And for whatever reason, that day, the only thing I had been thinking about eating was Kraft mac and cheese with hot dogs sliced up in it. And I was like, "You're gonna kill me." I was like, I've been craving this all day.
But she couldn't, she could do like a nice cheese sauce.
And she's like, "Are you kidding me right now?" And I was like, "Nah." And
so like if I did one that's elevated.
No, I like that too, but it's a different thing.
I buy the smoked sausages and
I mean,
is that would you be the guy that was like, "No, I just want it."
No, like I like that as well. If I'm having a specific craving for the Kraft mac and cheese,
you want the Kraft mac and cheese?
Yeah, but like like one of my favorite sides at one of the places I like to go to is like I love lobster mac. Like that's one of my favorite. That's like one of my go-tos. Like I really like elevated mac and cheese, but it's sort of like my McDonald's burger thing. Like sometimes I want the crappy McDonald's cheeseburger. Like that's the thing I'm wanting. I understand it's not a good cheeseburger, right? Like it's just the thing that I want in that moment.
Okay.
And she was real annoyed with me, but now we call anytime I talk about Kraft mac and cheese, she's like, "Oh, you want that real gourmet shit, huh?"
Jibs, that's a good pull with Peanut butter and jelly. Sometimes a good peanut butter and jelly sandwich is, I mean, it's top tier. And Breeze can run through PB&Js. We have 3 types of jellies.
Yeah.
For only one person really eating PB&Js. We have apple, strawberry, and grape. Now, full disclosure, I bought the apple on a humbug because I couldn't. I think I sent you the screenshot from the grocery store, and I was like, jackpot. But the other brand I'd never heard of. But
you don't see a lot of apple jelly.
And it's not apple cinnamon. It's just apple. It's just
Usually you get apple cinnamon or whatever.
Smuckers used to make it in a green with a green sticker when I was a kid, and I would like that on.
Is it good?
It's sensational, but I like apple. You know what I mean? I know Ravi thinks I only eat watermelon, but I like apple.
Tell the people the picture of what you sent me yesterday.
That was a tribute to you. It's like we don't have to talk about that.
You trying to make me look bad here. I'm just saying.
You had a bad morning yesterday.
No, I was recalling what my friend drank last week because I care about him.
That's not true. Because right before that, you said, is that another black thing? And I was like,
that was very specific about hygiene products. Sometimes.
So Slice, the soda that I used to like as a kid.
Yeah, I like Slice a lot. Orange Slice. I'm a big Orange Slice
makes
guy.
a probiotic, 4 grams of sugar. So they just whipping this thing on up. You guys.
I didn't even do that. I just want to be clear.
It's probably Austin.
Yeah,
that's what he does. Yeah, so they make. So I bought 1 apple, and as a joke, I bought the watermelon, and I showed it to you. Hey, thanks, guys. Go team. All for one, one for all. A4, 1 for A. What?
You gonna be okay?
Yeah, just
you want to do that one more time?
No. Corn Raider, not apple butter, just apple jelly.
Which is, you don't see a lot.
It's just, it doesn't even look appealing.
It doesn't really look right.
It looks like gold goo.
It looks like weird applesauce.
It's sensational.
Yeah.
Although it's translucent.
Yeah, but it looks like strange applesauce. Like I don't.
That's fire.
I'm a grape guy.
Let's see. TK and his creative license.
I'm a big grape jelly guy. I love grape jelly.
I'm team strawberry.
I know. We've had this.
Grape is fine.
I love grape jelly,
but I'm team strawberry.
My grandmother-in-law makes strawberry jam that is fantastic.
Heinous, and it's spelled correctly. Heinous. That's a little extreme.
That's pretty aggressive. Pretty aggressive.
Kobe, I almost say Kobe's again. Kobe, when's the last time you had apple jelly?
So he's in on apple butter. He's out on apple jelly.
They're distinctly different.
Yeah, they are. Consistencies are very different.
Yeah. Strawberry jelly is elite.
I love grape jelly.
They finally got the squeeze bottle lid right, so it doesn't cake up
on the strawberry.
Mm-hmm. Well, they had the grape too, but
I just want the
style of bottle is very user friendly.
I don't want jam. I don't want fan. That's something I want the cheap of. I want the cheap like Welch's grape jelly. That's all I want.
No preserves. Are you strawberry preserves?
If I go preserves, I don't want the grape. I want like strawberry or something else.
You seem like they get the little seeds in it.
No, I don't mind that. Like,
you sure?
Yeah, it's all right. I can brush my teeth.
The seeds get stuck in my teeth. I said that as a joke. Why are you mocking my joke?
I was making fun of Ravi more. I'm on your side.
This dude. See, that's what he does.
He's bob and weave. He's in and out. No, if I'm doing preserves or something fancy, I probably do want strawberry. But like, if I just want the cheap grape jelly.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Give me that.
I think jelly's like chips. Give
me that Welch's.
You can get bad cheap stuff.
You can, but for me, the grape is not one of it. I love the grape jelly.
Oh, by the way, Sargento now makes an American cheese that melts. You know, Kraft used to do it, but it has the weird texture. But it's not plastic. It doesn't come out of the plastic singles.
Huh?
It's outstanding.
Is it good
for grilled cheese?
Yeah.
But Zoe went through her 4 days of grilled cheese, so I'm glad I brought a whole loaf of sourdough.
I do like a grilled cheese.
Grilled cheese is fire.
Yeah.
I don't eat it very often, but
you don't eat that much bread.
So I ate the last of her grilled cheese the other day. It tore up the roof of my mouth. Sourdough is rough.
Oh yeah.
I
I'll
mean,
be honest.
I suppose
sourdough-
I should chew like an adult and use my teeth, but for some reason it was hitting the roof of my mouth.
the sourdough thing doesn't make sense to me. It's like a fad right now. People are all making sourdough and stuff. It seems like a lot of work for like a mid-tier bread.
No, Kobe, I don't actually. I just found an upgrade. Because there was a time where I would do like burgers in bulk, and that Kraft singles, it melted the best.
Oh, American cheese in general melts the best.
I mean, it was like, I could just peel the plastic, I'd roll through them. But I found a little bit of an upgrade.
I believe American cheese was like specifically designed to not crack when you melt it. Like that's the purpose of it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is when they store it in plastic, but it does melt.
Yeah.
Hunt, I can't go with the big game hunt. The only person I used to call big game hunter was Kelly Hunter.
Oh yeah.
And I used to just call her big game. I saw a top 10 Nebraska sports list yesterday.
Ooh, which one? Or what was the category?
It was top 10 greatest Nebraska athletes.
Like from the state or university?
University.
Okay.
And there were 2 volleyball players.
Like overall athletes?
Yeah. There wasn't enough diversity because I didn't really agree with the list. But to my point of what I'm talking about, because I was on volleyball, is Sarah Pavin, who won a natty. I didn't realize she was a 4-time All-America.
Yeah, I guess I didn't either.
Yeah, she's 4-time All-America. It's legit. And I knew she was great.
Yeah.
But and it seems like she won more than one like national. Man, volleyball is tough. But anyway, Jordan Larson was the other.
That would have been my first guess.
Two most. The list would be very debatable in volleyball. Safe with those 2?
I think so.
Would a gymnast have made your list?
I probably don't have the Rolodex to give you a name.
Hartung.
Sure. Yeah. That would make sense.
Would a wrestler have made your list?
Probably. Yeah, you almost have to, I think.
I think it was 8 footballs and 2 volleyballs.
8 football. That's probably not enough. That's probably not the right mix of athletes. I get that football has like the wealth of success, but it's not like volleyball doesn't.
Oh, that's a good one, huh?
Ooh.
Elite.
Brad Veering.
Yep.
Veering? Veering?
Elite. That's a good pull. But I guess he has an advantage because of the hometown.
Yeah.
Would a wrestler make your list?
I think he had to have. I mean, I think you should have. Like there's like a Jordan Burroughs.
Yeah.
Probably is I think that's a pretty easy one to make the list.
Any baseball guys. And I get it. There's only 10.
I mean, you could make a pretty good argument. Like Darren Erstad has a pretty good argument.
Erstad over Gordo.
I give the nod because he did play, like he did punt too. Like if you're talking about just best athlete, Andy was #1 overall pick. Like that's,
so this wasn't really. I like. Excuse me. That somebody wanted distinction. Is I don't think it was like movements like
greatest careers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sue was there. Fraze was there. Crouch was there. Rozier was there.
Rogers are probably there.
Johnny Rogers was there. So it was very football heavy.
So if we're talking careers over like actual athleticism, maybe Erstad doesn't make the list, but you probably
I don't mind the Chamberlain thing, but you can't have Jabba without Komene.
Yeah, and he can't beat out.
I would think Komene would have to go first.
If you're doing careers, yes. Yeah. Because Jabba's just there for 2 years, right?
Yeah.
And Kome's got 4.
Yeah.
And he was really good for
he was
all 4, I think.
Yes.
I know the last 3 for sure. I guess I don't remember his freshman year well. But
see, that's what I think, BP.
If you're talking about just baseball, no. I was thinking like athletic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I got you.
If you're talking about just career, there's probably a lot of guys that go over Erstad. Although Erstad going 1-1 in the draft, I think does matter.
Yeah.
Like that's a pretty big deal.
Did they have any track athletes on there?
No, which Adi has to make the list, right?
Yeah, Merlene. Yeah. Never won a gold, but she appeared in 7 Olympics.
She's arguably the most decorated athlete in Nebraska sports history.
Yeah, that's tough to leave off.
She has like 7 silvers and like 3 bronze or something like that.
I mean, Jordan Larson is obviously in the discussion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do any of my current volleyball heads put anybody in the last 7 or 8 years in that pantheon?
It's if you're going on career achievements, it's hard because none of those won titles. Like that makes it tough.
God, that's crazy.
I mean, but when you're talking about Nebraska volleyball, like a title's kind of a filter, right?
And who's my favorite? She won
Like Lexi Rodriguez is sitting right there, but she never
That's
won
what I
the
mean.
title.
Like you look at resumes,
and her national accolades
were incredible.
are through the roof.
Yeah.
Like she has everything you would want for like the perfect career except for the national title. Like if she would have had one, she would have gone down as probably the best volleyball player in
don't
Nebraska
disagree at all.
history.
It's really, really hard to put anybody on that list. That has, I mean, honestly, when you said
says so, no, okay.
When you said Crouch, I was like, it doesn't have an Natty. Like that's tough for football and volleyball because that's sort of now the Heisman does put Crouch in a different category.
I was tickled that Pavin got her run.
Yeah,
I agree. Channel 3, Sean. No. For careers, Lou over Strick.
Yeah, overall athlete, Strick over Lou, right?
Yeah,
but career, Lou over Strick.
Yeah, and
for sure.
My opinion.
I'm pretty comfortable with that, yeah.
As Axelina Johansson will go down. She'll make that top 10.
Yeah, that's current, though.
Yeah.
I'm struggling with the Gordo versus Hurrdat.
You're not going to let that die, are you?
Well, I think...
Is it because I said it or Ben? Because
no,
you like arguing with both of us.
I think Hurrdat was better than we were giving him credit.
No, Hurrdat was sensational.
Like, he hit 410 with 19 homers.
Listen, he was Mike. I wouldn't say...
I mean, you were there. But.
Yeah, I wouldn't say idle.
Mm-hmm.
But when I think of Hurrdat, I think he was... This is dumb. He was really good in, like... video games.
Mm-hmm.
He could shoot, he could punt, he could hit. He's one of those guys where it's like, hey, let's go play bags, and he's probably good at that.
He's just good at everything.
Or it's like, hey, let's go bowling, and he's probably good at that. Like his NHL 93 game on the video games, like he was so sweet. I'm like, how you get the fat guys to skate? They're supposed to be the power shooter. It's like no, Hurrdat, listen, I'm not probably gonna arm wrestle because of how I think of him as a person.
Yeah.
And then you'd watch him at practice, and he was so diligent.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, to your point, like he just walked out onto a football field and averaged like 43 yards a punt. Like, and
Gordon played on better teams.
Yes, he did. He did absolutely.
And I'm getting in the weeds, but like, I mean, I'm a Mark Sagmoin guy, but.
I was a big Ken Harvey guy. I love Ken Harvey.
A lot of people like Harvey.
I love Ken Harvey.
A lot of people.
I was a big Ken Harvey guy.
A lot of people like Harvey.
I don't know. There's a lot of single season and career records.
I don't know. Hard to top Harvey's single season. What he hit like 380 some with like 20 some bombs. Like Harvey.
That was 98.
Yeah. Right around there.
Yeah.
Right around there.
I think it was about 98 with Ken Harvey because I remember his last year was right before
I think Sagmoin hit 411 one year.
Yeah.
That was right as I was getting there.
I have a hard time. I think we're underestimating the Darren Hurrdat baseball. Like Gordon's awesome. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Ali's a no-brainer though, right, Rico? No-brainer.
Who?
Adi.
Yeah. She's got, I think she has to be like, if you're going athlete, like what do they
list?
How do they determine?
You wouldn't have liked it. I felt like it was.
How do they determine like the best athlete? Like, is it just on the call, like what they did at Nebraska, or is it post?
Yeah.
Because she also, I think didn't she win a few national titles while she was here? I know she was like a like damn near 8-time All-American with the indoor and outdoor.
That mustache Adam tweeted out a picture of peanut butter and jelly. That joker is aggressive.
I think we're doing too much there.
Yeah, boys, I'm gonna need the consensus. Action Jackson, Jimmy Neutron, I'm firing it over. I need consensus on this peanut butter ratio.
TK says, where do you put Jordy Ball /Fromm?
She was on the list. Good call. She was 9. She was on the list.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty good call on that one. I do struggle. Like,
I mean, I was only off 100 percentage points.
On who?
478.
Oh, for Harvey. Yeah, dude, he's a monster.
That single, but I knew his single season is up there with the greatest ever.
Yeah, with anybody's.
I get it.
I have
I'm so like you may have come in a smidge late, DV, but I couldn't remember the qualifications. I think it was accomplished. I think it was accomplished the way I was gathering, but the Crouch thing threw me off. But then I got the Heisman.
Mm-hmm.
Sue was on there because he had the 1 year almost untouchable stats where his trophy case he won the Lombardi and the Nagurski.
Yeah. He also
on the Outland, I mean,
had more tackles for loss than several teams that were like in the top 10 in the country.
Yeah.
He was, I mean, that was just a total wrecking ball. Like to go back to that's like a Ken
T.
Harvey.
Phrase won 3 or 4 MVPs of bowl games.
Yeah. Well, and the back-to-back national titles are pretty much unassailable. Although it is like, I don't know, this might be a weird question to ask you.
When has that ever stopped you?
I know, but like, I know you're close with some of these guys, so I try not to put you in weird spots. But what do you do with 94? Because he didn't play most of that year. I understand his presence is still really important to that team, but like, what do you do with that?
We probably don't win without him, though.
Okay.
He's pretty integral in that fourth quarter.
For sure.
Especially under the circumstances when he had sat for 2 quarters.
Yeah. Totally fair.
I didn't come in until what, like 9 minutes, 8 minutes?
I believe that's right.
6
After
11s?
the pick in the end zone.
Yeah. That's too much, right?
Yeah, that's way too much.
What do you guys think? I love Mustache Adam, though.
Your ratio is all off. Now, to me, I think the bread's also too thick. But that's especially peanut butter. That's way too much peanut butter. That can't be falling out, man.
Why is the jelly so soaked into the bread?
Yeah, that's also a problem. Like, how wet is that jelly, man?
It might have been in a picnic basket, but can you see, you guys are missing the bacon.
There's bacon in there?
Yeah, there is bacon. That takes it up a notch.
Yeah. That's fine.
So that I don't get. I get why people do that with the burgers and peanut butter, but
I don't want that on
He
my.
also said he put hot sauce on it.
No, stop it.
Yeah, it says huckleberry jelly,
I
bacon,
might
and hot
mess with
sauce.
the huckleberry jelly though.
I would maybe give it a shot, but I'm not doing the bacon and hot sauce.
I found a fruit pie out west that had
I want a pretty traditional PB&J.
what was the berry? Was it mixed blackberry or just blackberry?
Yeah.
Maybe I just don't want it to be a black thing. I'm throwing in mixed.
Blackberry's fine. It's kind of fruit.
Mixed black. Eh.
You have biracial kids. I think you should be a little more discerning.
Sound like me.
Maybe it was just blackberry.
You know what I do like?
I just click something registered with me, Rico.
This probably isn't for you. This doesn't sound like something you would like. But I really like a bacon jam.
I'm very particular.
I love a bacon jam.
Can I just say this and move on? I'll get back to Petitti.
Yeah.
We
were talking about Petitti like 20 minutes ago. I forgot.
If you're gonna do the bacon jam, the consistency matters.
For sure.
I don't want it runny. Like
100%.
The more nose blowy, I'm out because it's
disgusting. That's awful.
And I don't want it runny. Like I want it to spread like coarse mustard. I'm very particular about
like a mustard with like seeds in it. Yeah. No, for sure.
Don't give me the translucent bacon jam.
I agree. I'm not trying to do that.
Before you get back to Petitti, do you want some Merlene Audie numbers?
You got numbers?
Yeah. What do we got?
Yeah.
She's pretty incredible.
I didn't realize this. She won 14 individual national titles and earned 24 All-American awards.
Yeah, she's untouchable.
Multiple NCAA titles in each of her 5 seasons, including 5 combined indoor and outdoor titles in 1982 and 4 in 1981.
I think she only has 1 contemporary in terms of accolades.
For a track or in any sport?
Any female athlete at Nebraska.
Who's that?
It's got to be Fromm. And it pales. And Fromm is sensational with her. I don't even know where she would keep her awards.
Yeah.
Because she passed Ivy, who was my idol, Martise Ivy. I don't think Adi has any peers.
I mean,
although if you do talk about decorated, it's probably closer than I think. But Rico was giving numbers in the 20s.
So track is weird though,
I
because
know
you have
can collect.
opportunities.
Yes, I no, I get it. I get it. I get it.
It's sort of like the swimming in the Olympics thing.
But
like,
here's the thing, though, my guy.
Yeah.
So it's individual. So every time you go out there,
oh, I get it. I get it.
Like anything can happen.
Yeah, it's on you.
So you know what I mean?
I get that, but you just don't even have
more opportunities to not succeed too.
For sure. But you just don't even you're never going to get to those numbers.
Going undefeated in wrestling is significantly different than going undefeated in football.
For sure. 100%. I agree with that. But also
I just want to make sure we're clear.
Oh, I get it. It's just that when you're talking about, I try not to get distracted by the sheer volume of track awards. Like obviously it's super impressive.
What else do you do in individual sports?
I understand that, but you can't then compare that to a team sport and say, hey, they're you know what I mean? Like there's just not even.
How do you gauge tennis prowess for all-time greats?
I mean, Grand Slam titles.
Full stop.
Yeah, but if I can't look at
wins.
I mean, really, it's for almost everybody's Grand Slam titles. Now
I understand, but it sounds contradictory.
No, but what I'm saying is, I wouldn't compare Novak Djokovic's 24 titles to Tom Brady's 7 Super Bowls. There's 4 more opportunities every year, right? Like, so that's you have to take it within the context of its own sport. Like Brady has 7.
Yeah, significantly more accomplished with the 7 Super Bowls, even though 24 is a ton of titles.
Yeah, but you got 22 at Nadal and 20 at Federer. So you got guys in the neighborhood. There's nobody else in the neighborhood of 7 Super Bowls, right? Like 4 is the next best one, right?
For
4, one quarterback. Yeah.
4, yeah.
So that to me is the comparison we're making here is tons of opportunities and yes, super accomplished versus team sports. We just don't have the.
What if you just keep it to one event for the track athlete?
I'm not rocking with that. I get the opportunities, but listen, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
In those individual sports, the singular purpose for everybody out there is to win that event.
That's fair. I get that.
Right? Like they're super dialed.
To be clear, I'm not.
You're training for that.
I'm not, and I will say one of the most impressive things is for track athletes who are elite at multiple events, because mostly you are facing people who are only focusing on the one, right? So if you're good at the Carl Lewis, I think, is a really good example of this. He's really great at the 100, the 200, and the long jump, right? That was his deal.
Yeah, I'm so smart. At one point, I thought Carl Lewis was overrated.
Only as a singer. Oh,
and the Rockets regular.
But so Carl Lewis is facing guys.
I'm like Edwin Mo. Like really, guys? Like they weren't even that fat. I don't like. I could. No, I'm serious.
You're just being a hater.
Yeah. No, I felt like I had some legs. I felt like my discussion had some legs.
So I understand I'm not diminishing the prowess. I'm just saying I try not to get distracted by the sheer volume of things.
Rico, when you get bored, look up Jordy Fromm's accomplishments.
Oh, I've seen the list.
I don't think you read 1984 George Orwell.
You got to keep scrolling.
You're going to read a while.
It's ridiculous.
Let's take a quick break.
Against 1984.
No, you're just a big George Orwell guy.
Well, the things he was writing about actually came to fruition.
Like an Animal Farm, dude.
We're seeing that in government.
What do you mean?
Just saying.
Let's take a quick break. Brian Christopherson coming up next here on Hurrdat Sports Live. If losing weight is harder than you expected, it's not just about willpower. At NextGen Male Medical Clinic, we build a supervised plan around your body, not someone else's. Schedule a visit at nextgenmmc.com. Let's get you moving forward.
Yeah, he's an elite passer. That's one thing I've really been impressed with Trev, and we saw that. But when you play against, I guess, bigger, more athletic players, how is that going to translate? But I think it was last week he had a couple week stretch rate of 20-3 assist to turnover ratio, and I think his team in the scrimmage was 27-7 assist to turnover. So he's really on time, on target, simple plays, gets the ball into the pocket, and when we do that, we have very efficient offense. So I've been really impressed with that. And then defensively, he's doing a great job getting his hands on the basketball, getting deflections. He and Taj, I think, are two of the highest that we've had as far as deflections, and Kale and Jacob has been good in that area as well. But Trev's, he's always in the right spot. He's a very smart, high IQ player.
It's time to sizzle into summer at Edwards Kia. Lease the 2026 Kia Sportage EX starting at $249 a month. Turn up the heat on your next lease. This July, the savings are as hot as the season. We've also got the 2027 Kia Telluride S starting at $449 a month. Don't wait. Sizzle into summer this July at Edwards Kia. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Kia.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Brian Christopherson from Husker 24/7. BC, what's going on, buddy? How we doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
B-Sizzle, we were all over the place in the first hour, but we did get a fair amount of sports in. But I have one question.
Okay.
So, the meek, humble beginnings of the Christopherson family. Regardless of how much money you made, what's one struggle meal that you will always eat?
It's a good question. I don't think it's a struggle meal. I always fall back to grilled cheese, like at least once a week, and I don't consider a struggle meal, so maybe that's the wrong label, but that's the one I think of that, like, it's like you're not living on the high end necessarily when you're making your grilled cheese. But we did use, and this is maybe where it's a little unfair to use grilled cheese, we used Rotella's Italian bread, which I think is the only way to make grilled cheese. And
it's 1 minute from my house, so you can talk about Rotella's all you want to. Yeah. I go to that discount bakery once a week.
Yeah. So I guess I'll just switch over to that lane. That's my big take. Like, if you're going to make grilled cheese, get the Rotella's Italian bread. Really, paste that butter on there good, 2 layers almost. And
specific.
that's going to be a party. You're not going to feel like that's a poor man's meal at all when you're having it. You're going to feel like you're eating better than some guy who paid, $16 for whatever at lunch. So, but that's, I guess, my answer.
So, is your grilled cheese about the bread or the cheese?
More about the bread, because I used to go to friends' house. Wasn't that always kind of funny when you go to a friend's house and their mom would make something a little different than your mom made it or your dad or whatever, and you had to be respectful about it, but you're like, this is not the way this is not the way this is done. Like you always thought your house was right. At least I did.
That's not how we do it at our house.
Yeah. So I don't know, though. The cheese does matter. I would get in college. My roommate was Dave Deal. I don't know if you know him. He's a teacher. He was at Miller North.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And Dave Deal was my college roommate, and he would make fun of me because I would get the block Colby cheese.
He coached Maya.
And I would go like, just real thin with my knife while I'm sitting there watching TV, cutting like little, pieces of that block of Colby cheese. And he would always mock me for that in a friend, college, elbow your friend sort of way. But I don't have a lot of other really special food items. I went and just got fast food way too much for most of my life, and that includes to today.
All right.
Listen, no judgment there on the fast food. BC, how much of the Big Ten Media Days did you get to catch yesterday?
None. I didn't watch any of it. I saw a couple headlines, saw 2014 playoff headlines. I saw a bunch of articles where beat writers were asking their coach if they would wear a patch as well on their jersey. And I thought I didn't miss that much probably by not paying full attention on the first day.
Ooh, there was some good stuff. Do you want to hit him with some of the clips?
Yeah.
Hit me on the best stuff.
Okay. So a couple of things were interesting. Bielema didn't disappoint, right? Straight shooter. He had the frame of reference about being in the SEC and then the Big Ten. He said he's glad to be in a conference that's so forward thinking. Some folks in the SEC still think it's 2005, which I thought was interesting. But he said something else that, because we always talk about this, and you and I in particular, like, do we understand how much other teams in the Big Ten dislike Nebraska? Right? We talked about it with Minnesota. We talked about it with Iowa. Certainly Wisconsin. I was like, I never got I melted down in my former life on a show with Gary when I said, we have this weird affinity for Wisconsin and hate our guts, right? Like, I get the Alvarez thing, but they out copied us. They out blueprinted us. Their fan base treats us really, really poor. And like, we have this whole Alvarez Wisconsin thing. Listen to this clip. So Bielema's telling a story about them doing a study of wins. He's talking with his athletic director, Barry Alvarez. Go ahead. Roll the clip.
Okay. The only other team that had won more games in Wisconsin was Ohio State. It wasn't Michigan. It wasn't Penn State. It wasn't Nebraska, who was coming in the league, obviously. But the four teams they all wanted to talk about and that they were worried about distributing evenly was Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, and Nebraska. And I'm pissed, right? Because, like, I'm at Wisconsin and I look at 20 years and no one's really paying attention to that, right? And Coach just said to me very plainly, said, don't worry about things you can't control. You can't change people's 50 years of history in the way they think.
I thought that was fascinating because every time he sees Nebraska, don't you feel like it's different for him? Doesn't matter what school he's at. Minnesota feels like that. I'm sure there's some similar sentiment there. We know how Iowa feels. I thought he did a really good job of saying, like, why does this guy hate us so much?
Mm-hmm.
That press conference in Indianapolis in 2012 or 13, I told Severe, I go, Bielema looks like he knows something we don't. He looks like the guy that just he was so smug, and he had gone before Bo. Like, it just did a good job of encapsulating what I think the conference feels about Nebraska.
Yeah, Nebraska has no one to blame but itself on this one because they just, since they've been in the league, overall. They just haven't produced to the level that was sort of anticipated upon arrival, and sort of how they were trending as they came into the league. I remember, this is a personal story with Bret Bielema. When I was at the Lincoln Journal-Star, they were the Big Ten was sort of trying to figure out what the rivalry games were going to be, and who was matched with who and that sort of thing. And Bielema did an interview with me and wrote a letter to me. It was really respectful, but he wanted Nebraska, Wisconsin to be like a marquee game. Like, he wanted that off the bat. That's where Nebraska was like heading into the conference. And I think he saw that as good for Wisconsin to be, sort of try to build that up, sort of like some other rivalries in the league. And then you could fast forward 4 or 5 years, and that sort of disappeared. Like, I think even Wisconsin didn't even name Nebraska like on one of their, teams where they wanted, I could be wrong on this, but where you were supposed to give like 2 or 3 teams that you'd like to preserve possibly as like a game you played each year. And I don't think they listed Nebraska. And that was always interesting to me, how that dynamic had shifted over just like 5 to 10 years. And it was based off on-field results or lack thereof from Nebraska is the frank answer to that. But to your point that you're making, Damon, you're absolutely right. Bielema's always had, I think there's been respect with it because he grew up, a Midwest guy and understood what Nebraska football history has been. But there is a little something extra that like he has, and a lot of coaches of that age have, because they're right now the guys who are leading programs are of that age where when they were coming up, Nebraska was an it school. They were it, and so that still like is kind of in the back of their mind, and it's like, let's take them down another notch. Let's keep them where they're at, sort of feeling. And I do think that's an added layer. It's not something to complain about, but every time Nebraska has stepped on the field the last 10 to 15 years, even though they haven't been a program necessarily with those 9-10 wins some of those seasons, they're still viewed like as a team where like this could look good on the resume to claim a win against these guys if we're like building up our program. Like, I think PJ Fleck has looked at it that way at Minnesota. And
I was just looking at the times. That was his longest response. Right. And I was just thinking, he didn't go into as much detail about the 3-3-5, although I felt like that was fascinating too, right? Because he referenced Rocky Long, and Tony White referenced Rocky Long, and the multiplicity of the 3-3-5, and I was putting that to the juxtaposition of Matt Campbell, who is going just the other way from the 3-3-5, because he said in this league with 12 personnel and the multiple tight ends and the power up front, he was going to go back to running true 4 down. So I say all that to say the longest answer he gave, whether it was scheme or fundamentals or philosophy in football, like that just told me a lot of how I actually have always thought that the originals, the OGs in the Big Ten Conference have always felt about Nebraska.
No, you're right on that. And there's some of that with the writers too. Not in like it's not just like a hateful way, but like every year at media days, and it'll happen again tonight when I get to Chicago, you kind of gather with your group, like in the 24/7 sports network. And I know there's a few guys at certain places that they have, I would say that they don't care for Nebraska because they feel like since Nebraska's joined the league, like they always get sort of hyped up. It hasn't happened this year. They can't complain this year. But they get this sort of bounce in the offseason, like, oh, they could be a dark horse there. This is the year they push forward. That's at least their perception of it. I'm just giving what they think. Mm-hmm. And so because of that, there is a dynamic where they love to see Nebraska fall on their face. There's no doubt about it. So I understand like the sentiment, like, oh, Nebraska football doesn't matter as much as it used to, but tell that to some people who cover it, some of the coaches, and also some national writers who still know it's a way to get clicks in June and July off of that name.
Well, and I think, BCA, you can tell me if you would agree here or not. I do think less so now than when they came into the league, but it seems like for the Big Ten, that's still a brand that they feel like they need to be successful in if they want to maximize sort of their value, right? I mean, obviously you bring in USC and Oregon and brands like that, and it's less contingent on it when it was just those 4 that Bielema was talking about in the clip. But like, how much of it do you think is from a media standpoint of like, oh, people are always waiting for Nebraska to be up or be a dark horse or whatever? And how much of it is like they feel like the conference is sort of rooting for Nebraska versus some of these other teams?
Mm-hmm. There could be a little of the latter. I don't know. I do think there's probably people high up who would love, like you're saying, Ravi, would love to see Nebraska make that step because they know that there is still a power behind that brand if it were to happen and those two things were to combine. I'm not sure if it connects to like sort of the beat writer guys that I talk to in that way. It's more just a sense of like, you know, if you're covering Minnesota, you feel like, hey, we've beat Nebraska. You know, what is the record the last 7 times? You know, it's like 6-1 or something like that. It feels like that at least. And so you look at that and you're like, yet I always feel like Nebraska gets sort of that bump in other places and, you know, beyond Minnesota. I think that's mostly where it stems from, but you make a good point, and I think it all plays together. You know, and also, you know, people know it's a proud fan base here. Like they know that Nebraska fans put a lot into it and care deeply about it. And I think there's some people of a certain age who remember, you know, like in the 90s when Nebraska fans could stick their chest out a little bit and stuff like that. And they enjoy payback still. That still carries some weight to certain people. But, you know, that's just sort of an interesting, like, I guess, extra narrative to the whole thing as Nebraska tries to build this thing back up under Matt Rule. And obviously that's something that, you know, within the program walls and what Rule's doing, you can't really worry about. It's just like, you just got to get the type of dudes who week to week know they've got to earn everything they get and know that in some cases, even though Nebraska hasn't won maybe 10 or 11 games some years, you're still going to get people's best shots because of that N on the helmet.
It's fascinating listening to the first 3 coaches that took the podium yesterday. All lamented early on in their open about the connection of being vertically aligned in the thought process with expenditures, how closely connected they were with their athletic director and vision that was being casted. I wonder if other coaches, in particular, you know, sure, like a guy like Coach Rule, where that relationship is in terms of that vertical thought process with all the extracurriculars going on with the stadium project and, you know, the NIL. And I'll be curious to see kind of, because Shiano was really good. Super passionate about the connection. He says they now have resources and his roster is as good as it's been. Bielema lamenting about his roster and depth. He knows he's turning over his O-line, D-line, but just reflecting on the ability to go build a roster. I want to play a clip. Shane, cue up, get ready for Lincoln Riley when he talks about the question. BC was, because he was interesting. Lincoln Riley was a guy that I paid a lot of attention to because he had, you know, he's really surly in Indy. He was okay in Vegas. I wondered what he would be like with the pressures. And somebody asked him about kind of where he is. And he said, listen, this is as deep as we've been. I like our guys. We got a lot of new guys. But if we want to get back to being SC, we have to defend home. Listen to his response. And it's weird because we're talking about the Coliseum, right? It's not like a place where we think like
home field advantage,
home
like
field
hostile
advantage late. But I'm like, is Lincoln taking notes here? Listen to his response on the home slate for Lincoln Riley.
The momentum has been created, and it's been fun to see our program grow in all the areas that you need to be a championship level program. And so certainly excited about the season, excited to get back in the Coliseum for a great home slate. I think one of the big keys for us early on has been reestablishing our dominance in the Coliseum, reestablishing the Coliseum as a really tough place for our opponents to come in and play. And obviously we did a tremendous job going 7-0 last year in our home slate, and that will be important again with a great set of games.
Insert Nebraska, right? Bielema talked on how good they were at home, right? Like That's the secret sauce. If Lincoln Riley's talking about the Coliseum and its prowess and its SC, where we talk about late arriving crowds and everything else to do. Yeah. I mean, I've said this for a long time. Nebraska's got to start having Memorial Stadium be that place, right?
Absolutely. And for real quick on USC, if you think back, Damon, to when Nebraska played there just a couple of years ago, how dead it felt. You know, there was almost as many Nebraska fans as USC fans. And I'm sure Lincoln Riley's looking at it like, I have to change that too. Like, you know, not just about winning the games at home and obviously that, but there has to be that sort of environment. USC hasn't always had that, but I do, you know, when Pete Carroll was there, and this is going back now a ways, but I remember Nebraska played out there with Bill Callahan, and I was a young guy at the Journal-Star, but I went on the trip, and like, you know, they came out to like Snoop Dogg, you know, as their song that they came out, and it was full, and it was a night game, and I was like, they had something there, and so I'm sure that's what they're aiming for. But to your main point, bringing it back to Nebraska, absolutely. I think about the home field thing all the time, and like it's got to start with protecting your backyard. And there's just it's been too, you know, I feel like across college football in a way, like home field advantage isn't. It'd be interesting, like what the data shows, but I feel like the numbers have dropped a little bit as far as what that advantage represents and all that, even though teams are traveling all these time zones and stuff like that. I could be wrong. That's just a feeling I get. But certainly in Lincoln, if there was a year to say, okay, we're gonna protect our house, we're gonna be that team that that when an opponent comes in here, they know for 4 quarters it's gonna be hell. You know, it's gonna be a battle. Like you know, a team that's been good at that is Iowa. Like you think about like last year, like, you know, Oregon went there on that dreary day, and that was a freaking fist fight. You know, Oregon pulled it off, but you saw like Dan Lanning after the game, and he knew he'd been through it. And they took Indiana to the wire in Iowa City. And I think that's a huge step for this program to take this year. Nebraska, you get Indiana and Ohio State here, and Nebraska fans, they just want to see a team that in those kind of games, they step up, you know, to their best of their abilities. And it's not a game where, like, in the middle of the third quarter, the announcers are having to talk about what the you know, filler items about what their favorite TV shows are. There's been too many games like that in Lincoln, in those marquee sort of games where that's happened. And so that's a huge step for this team to take this year, no matter what the wins and losses come out.
BC, who are you most looking forward to listening to the next couple days outside of Nebraska? Obviously.
I'll be curious to hear Washington. I think they're a really interesting team. Like diving into them with what Jed Fish is doing there. You know, where were they picked? 7th, and so they're sort of, if you were to say the Big Ten is like, I kind of think the Big Ten at this point in the preseason, people see it as like 4 tiers. I see, like, they see the top 3, you know who those are. And then there's that fight. And I think USC, Michigan, Penn State, and some are putting Washington maybe as a possible team in that tier going into this year. And so the fact that they play Nebraska on Halloween and
it's going to be a circus.
Yeah, look at the preseason poll. It doesn't, we know it means as much as whatever changes in your pocket, which is none. Nobody carries change in their pocket anymore. But Washington is 7, Iowa's 8, Illinois is 9. Nebraska plays all 3 teams.
Mm-hmm.
And you talk about what a foundation looks like, you know, and everybody talks about the top 3 teams that Nebraska plays. We get that. But you get a crack at 7, 8, 9 on that list. And think about if you had a winning record or you went 3-0 against those type of teams, you're in the upper middle. Then you're that team that's at least at like 6 or 7 in the league, which is a pretty good spot actually.
Yeah.
And then
if you're going to move up, somebody's got to move out.
Yeah. And so to Ravi, your question, that's sort of why Washington draws my intrigue. because of the fact that they're on Nebraska's schedule. They're sort of that team that's fighting to be in the upper middle right now. You know what I mean by that. And so I'm curious what is said on their end. You know, I'm always Bielema, you know, went yesterday. I think he's always interesting.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, so I will go back and listen to that while I'm driving today. That was sort of my plan. But those are kind of teams that stick out to me.
Sorry, B. Check out Schiano.
Okay.
He was unusually, he usually plays it close to the vest. Like, you could tell he likes this team. And it was weird for him to talk about his talent level. Right? This didn't seem very Schiano-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And the last time something like this got my attention was, do you remember? When a coach seemed out of character to gush over his team.
Ferentz a couple years ago, wasn't it?
It was Ferentz talking about Iowa a couple years ago. And they were good. They were way good. And I said to the guys, I'm like, does Kirk know something we don't know? That's kind of that was kind of the vibes I was getting from Schiano yesterday. And maybe I'm hearing what I want to hear, BC, because you just mentioned a game that I said is going to be the most telling of the 3-game slate. It's going to be Washington, Illinois, and Rutgers. And in my opinion, if this team's going to make any headway, they have got to make hay in that 3-game stretch. You get the Huskies at home, and you have a chance to do something you haven't done and win back-to-back road games over teams you have to skip if you're going to move in the Big Ten.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rutgers, it's interesting you say to listen to Schiano.
He was different, I felt.
I think this isn't happening inside the walls, but outside, if you told a Husker fan, okay, like kind of break down the schedule and like what draws your eye first, Rutgers is that game people kind of look over, right? Not because they just think it's like an automatic win or anything. They know it's going to be tough whenever you go on the road in the Big Ten, especially in November. But it does seem the game that some people kind of talk over. And yet they've got a couple guys that are more marquee, that are, kind of splash a little bit more. And that probably speaks to why Schiano's like that. But yet they're picked 17th in the league. And that's where you got to be careful in these July lists. Like people, and I do it, but you tier these teams and stuff like, oh, they're the 3rd, 4th tier. And coaches know that the difference between a team who's 16 or 17 in this league and a team that might be 8 or 9 could be a matter of an injury. It could be a matter of a special teams play. We're talking 3 or 4 points from 2 or 3 weeks of the season that sort of flip whether you are in that upper half at least, or around the middle to upper half, or if you could be 15 to 18, taking up space there next to Purdue, who I think is still at the bottom. But Rutgers would be, if I were to say, okay, between Northwestern, Maryland, Michigan State, Rutgers could be as dangerous as any of those teams, I think, to whoever has them on the schedule, and Nebraska does.
BC, I think we have the Schiano clip real quick here, guys, if you want to play that.
Rutgers football is experiencing a foundational transformation. What's changed, you say? Why do you say that? Well, we have alignment at our institution. From our board president, Amy Towers, through our new president, William Tate, to our new AD, Kelly Zinn. Now, vertical alignment, to me, isn't a slogan. Vertical alignment is when you have a board president or a board chair, a president, an AD, and a head football coach who look at winning at Rutgers the same way and also look at the investment needed to do it. We have a deep and talented roster, the deepest and most talented I've had since I've been back, and it's only going to get better now with the resources now starting to match the expectations that you have when you're in the Big Ten Conference.
Does that didn't sound like any Schiano that I had ever heard. that definitely got my attention.
Yeah, and what it made me think of actually was, you might remember this, when Nebraska basketball, it was around a February game, won out in Piscataway. That was a big topic with the Rutgers media, was like, how did Nebraska do it with like the like sort of like they had found the secret sauce, because there were all these stories at the time about how they were really in the negative financially. And I think I think coaches were very frustrated at Rutgers with some of the power brokers within the system and what that had led to. And so, that can be a dangerous program if they get that right. I don't know if they will or not, or if that's just sort of the talk a guy has as a coach when you're optimistic in late July. But it did sound a little different from Schiano of the past, and it does.
Where'd the money come from?
I don't know, but I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of
institutionally, aren't they like in pretty rough shape?
And listen,
that's what I thought. So I don't know. Like that's interesting that like now that it does, or at least he's presenting that there's a dynamic shift and sort of like alignment, as Matt Rule always says that word, and that he feels they've got it now to at least attack it the right way. But it'll be a curious team to watch the next couple of years where that goes, if it stays the same, or if they actually do make that move that he's sort of envisioning, or at least he's trying to speak it into happening, through that. But they do have a couple marquee guys that show they have some dough to play with, I guess.
It's amazing. Like, two of the guys that you'd think may bemoan what's happening in college football fiscally, like, raved about it. I don't know if they're just posturing or what, but Bielema, pumped, right? Loves the opportunity to turn over a roster, and Schiano, pumped, like, loves the ability to turn over a roster. It's fascinating.
Don't you think Bielema's got to love too? You going back to where we started, like, they're getting the benefit of the doubt, really, like in preseason stuff that like Nebraska used to get. And for someone who's as studied in the league as he is and knows the histories of teams, he's got to get kind of a chuckle out of that.
I agree
that like they're 8th or 9th in picks when they have probably more questions from the team that they had last year.
Look at them up front in the trenches.
Yeah.
O-line and D-line.
Yeah, they have more questions than probably Nebraska does, but I understand why them. And I always got a lot of questions, but they got the benefit of the doubt right now, and I bet Bielema appreciates that, and it's Nebraska's job to take that away, because Illinois has become a team that's become upper middle and dangerous in that way, and like you say, there's that stretch against those type of teams in October 31st and November 14th, where you really got to show like, okay, we're going to not only build ourselves up, but knock them down a notch. I always talk about that, maybe too much, but there are certain programs, Minnesota and Iowa, namely, that not only have they knocked Nebraska down in key moments the last decade, but they've used those to sort of paint the narrative of their season in a much more positive light than it would have been otherwise.
BC, go ahead.
Real quick, I was just going to say, Ferentz talked about that, because he lost 7 out of his top 8 D linemen.
Mm-hmm.
And he said this may be the first year that we'll play more players. Like, we have to substitute more than any that he could remember in his tenure. And I was like, this is totally completes Bizarro world.
You know what I thought was the most bizarre?
Like, I mean, if everybody's just going to continue the theme of being a little different than I would have thought when they took the podium, Ferentz was like that too.
Yeah. I was going to say the biggest thing I thought kind of surprised me with Ferentz was, like, I couldn't believe the playoff talk from him.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that didn't sound like him at all. Do we have that clip, guys? The Ferentz playoff talk? Okay. Basically, he was just like, he's like, yeah, I think we should go to 24. I think it'd be great. He's like, the more the better.
Mm.
So behind the scenes, like how the sausage is made, I don't think he really cares about the format. I think he likes the revenue generated, and he's appreciative of the Bills getting paid. I asked him about the playoff format 3 years ago in his office, and he's like, look, DB, it doesn't – we're going to follow the money. They give us a lot of money. It pays a lot of bills. He said, short of coming back from Los Angeles at 4 a.m. on a plane, doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Like, he was
like super pragmatic about it.
Yeah, super pragmatic. And I was like, I get it.
That's the way you got to be. They are a really interesting team, though, because we're used to the fact like that. People in the preseason rate that block of cheese I used to cut for my grilled cheese ahead of like their quarterbacks, and that's sort of how it is too. But you're also seeing like the defense, as you mentioned, like they do have a lot of new parts on that side of the ball, and can they just churn it out sort of how they have on that end is going to be pretty interesting. And they've got a tough schedule early. The one thing about Iowa, though, it opens up a little for them building toward Nebraska. I will say that. I think you could see that. But I'm curious, like early in Big Ten, if they don't get dinged a little bit.
Gotcha.
BC, last one for me here. I'm going to take out the top 4 teams: Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana. 3 actually: Ohio State, Oregon, Indiana. Because I don't know how you feel about USC or Michigan or Penn State here. And then I'm going to take out the bottom, I'll say 2, which I think are Purdue and Michigan State. So that leaves you with 13 teams in the conference here. Is there any version of that would absolutely shock you, from like Michigan all the way down to Rutgers in terms of order of finish in the Big Ten this year?
No, not within reason. Like
if Maryland's 5th, you'd be surprised.
Yeah. My point is, I wouldn't be shocked if like anybody from like Maryland, Rutgers, or Northwestern, who you'd say a lot of people would say they're like 14 through 16, if at least one or if 2 of those teams were like came in 10th through 12th or 9th through 12th. So I think like I do understand, and it's probably right to tier them slightly, but I could see Michigan, for example, being anywhere from 4th to 8th. Like I really think they've got a wide range they could go this season. I would say the same for Penn State. I'm not real sold on Penn State's roster and this year, but they also miss the 3 playoff teams, but they still have to go head to head against USC, Michigan, Washington, and I'm kind of curious how that goes out. So when I say I'm not surprised, I think most teams will stick close to the tier we sort of might have them in, but I think there'll be like one jump from each part. Like one team that you think's tier 2 is going to go tier 3, and then vice versa, and then maybe someone who's like a tier 4, 14 through 18 that's like 10th. The thing that I just want to highlight is that like Michigan State, they're 16th in this poll. Preseason, you put them, with Purdue, still dangerous. Like, and that's what coaches and all these schools know. Like, I looked at them on the field last year. They're a very talented operation. As far as just athletes, like you look at them, they looked all right to me. And that's gonna be there could be a tough game. The first out of the gate, Fitzgerald's first game in the Big Ten. I keep going back to that game more than anything because it's so critical that Nebraska grabs that one, not just for this team, but for, the fan base and like what momentum can come with it.
Yeah, it's just fascinating. With 3 players yesterday, and 2 of their opinions I trust. Oh no, just kidding, Caleb. Like to a man, good players, right? Like to a man said, This is as good as they feel like they've been.
Good.
Internally. Because they were just talking about like the competitiveness of the OTAs, like how like it is. So that's kind of the first time that they felt like that. There was always these clear-cut things, and that's not so clear-cut.
Been a good offseason, I think, for them. Like it's like what you're saying, but also just like let people pick you 11th in a poll. Let people continue to, and
it's where they finish, right? That's not a slap.
No, it's where it should be right now. I would have them 10th or 11th. That's fair. Going in and now prove it, and they've got the chance, and knowing each other is what they put in as far as the the sweat and the work this offseason, it'd be like, actually, we're going to be better than that. But let's just our head down through August and go prove it. I mean, they're not going to come out of Nebraska's not going to come out of Chicago with a lot of headlines. There's just not. Right. It's just, they're going to go there, and I think it's going to be kind of matter of fact. I'd be surprised if it's not, and that would connect everything else we've seen, right?
Yeah, and they're not bringing those kind of guys, right? I mean, nope. Marshall, Evans, and Lennemeyer aren't giving you bullet board material.
No, just the way you want it, probably.
That's Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7 BC. Have a safe trip out to Chicago. We'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks guys.
Bud. You got it.
That is Brian Christopherson, Husker 24/7. Let's take a quick break. Andy Kendi from KETV coming up next. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
It's time to sizzle into summer at Edwards Kia. Lease the 2026 Kia Sportage EX starting at $249 a month. Turn up the heat on your next lease. This July, the savings are as hot as the season. We've also got the 2027 Kia Telluride S starting at $449 a month. Don't wait. Sizzle into summer this July at Edwards Kia. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Kia.
Everyone's talking about peptides. You are doing it right. At NextGen Male Medical Clinic, peptide treatments are clinician guided, tailored to your goals, monitored for safety. Call today or visit nextgenmmc.com.
I'm excited about that, to get an opportunity to play in front of our fans. A lot of them that maybe don't get the opportunity to get to Lincoln, to get to Central Nebraska and play in front of some really passionate Husker fans will be a lot of fun. And, to play against Casey's teams, I think the world of him. And, we steal a lot of their stuff. They run great offense. Obviously Sam Orm, playing for Casey, and I've seen him at a couple tournaments, AAU events over the course of the summer, and I know both of us are excited because you're going to play against a high quality opponent, and again, our fans will get an opportunity to see us in a little bit different setting. So yeah, it's a good opportunity for our basketball team in a lot of ways.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Yeah, I'll go back to when they went from 2 to 4. My feeling then was, if we're going to go to 4, you may as well go bigger, a bigger number at that stage. To me, just having 2 teams play for it, there's some subjectivity there, obviously. And revenue opportunity, all that other stuff that comes with playoffs. But when we went to 4, it really kind of, I think, minimized or started to cheapen some of the bowl experiences, more players opting out, that type of thing. And, silly me, I thought playing in the Orange Bowl or the Rose Bowl or whatever was a big deal. But, that attitude started to grow with that. So my attitude is if we're going to go 2 to 4, why not go bigger? And whether you want to debate 16 or 24, I'm in favor of 24, certainly.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DBM Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We'll have Andy KENDEIGH join us here in just a little bit. If we can get a hold of him, I believe he's on the road to Chicago as we speak. So we appreciate him making the effort to join us today, even though he's a little busy.
Rooms were extremely expensive. I wonder where he's staying.
Yeah, they were a little pricey on the and they sold out quick too in the media block.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know what we were doing, but that's why I was even in March, I was like,
yeah, soon they sold out almost as soon as they opened.
I had to have.
Yeah, it was almost immediate, and they were pricey.
Really?
Yeah, it was aggressive.
4s.
Yeah, I think it was mid 4s for your just basic ass room.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's highway robbery,
and it's not the greatest hotel to navigate.
No.
I mean, it's fine, but
it's also
it's not like everything is. I don't know. I remember that hotel vividly.
Yeah,
I took a picture next to Melvin Gordon because on television, Melvin Gordon looked like a monster.
Yeah,
Melvin Gordon looked a lot like I did.
I was he's not that big in real life, right?
He was.
He's
yoked,
in good shape.
But
yeah,
I was like, wow, you run for all those yards? I mean, little did I know.
Was this before or after?
Well, he did it twice, but this was before the 400.
That was it, the big one.
Yeah.
I was like, 'cause he had the one in the true freshman in the Big Ten championship, right? Yeah. No, I meant the 400. The 400.
We have our guest, by the way.
Wow, there's another one of you running backs?
Another one.
Well, there was 17 in a row.
Yeah, they just kept pumping them out. It didn't matter. Let's get to our guy, Andy KENDEIGH from KETV. Andy, what's going on, buddy?
Morning, boys. Sorry about that. I forgot I had to click a couple buttons to get there, and my bad. I was waiting for Shane to call me, and I'm like, duh, of course I got to click in.
Well, that's all right. Today years old, AK. Today years old.
Yeah, well, I'm in the middle of Iowa, so approaching Des Moines on my way to Chi-Town. So it's lovely. It's a lovely drive so far.
It's awful quiet. Are you parked?
No. I'm driving. I'm just approaching DeSoto. Lovely DeSoto.
Exceptional.
Yeah, your sound quality's off the charts, man.
Wow. It's just the same AirPods that usually gives me crappy sound quality for you guys.
Huh.
So
Those are the epitome of noise canceling. I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I don't hear it sounds like you're in a safe room. There's no road noise. There's nothing. I don't hear a turn signal and nothing. It's incredible.
Giddy up. Awesome. I'm getting passed on the left and I'm going 74 miles an hour. So
listen, I have a couple of signs that I put on my passenger seat, and one of them is if I pass you to your right, you're an idiot. So just don't get. I've got to hang up. I've got to concentrate. I've got to get over. I smatter it right on the window.
Yeah.
The passing you on the right though is my favorite because they have to read a little longer.
Sure.
Like what's he saying? I'm a what?
Yeah. Yeah. I've got my routine. I've made this trip a million times. So stopped at a Dare for a little pit stop. Got my corn nuts, original flavor corn nuts. And now
why'd you pick a Dare? That gas station is small.
Is that the one is a Dare the one with the tower with the smiley face on it?
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah. It's my sister-in-law's hometown, and used to be a come and go, now Maverick, but then there's Casey's across the street.
There's a little restaurant right there that's not bad.
A diner. It's like
a little diner.
That must be everybody's stuff.
Well, when we were going back and forth to clean out my grandma's house, we would stop and eat there. And so we stopped there like 10 times over the summer. And so those people are like, oh, you guys are back.
Yeah.
Pretty good. They had good pie.
They that used to be, if I'm not mistaken, that used to be a dairy chef. You guys remember Dairy Chef?
That was the original?
No.
It used to be.
So it wasn't. It was a Happy Chef.
Happy Chef. Happy
Yeah,
Chef.
it
I'm
was
thinking Dairy Sweet because Dairy Sweet is still up and running. But Happy Chef. Remember those Happy Chefs? Because you used to get those little like circular coins there with baseball players on them.
Yep,
I remember that as a kid.
It was a Happy Chef over there, and then it switched. I don't remember the name of the restaurant now, but it's pretty good. But yeah, no, we had some stops at the old Happy Chef back in the day too.
Yeah, that Happy Chef. That'll spark some memories. Good times. Good times.
Hey, so listen, AK, are you staying through till Friday, or are you coming back tomorrow night? Because Nebraska's late tomorrow.
Yeah, we're staying through until Friday. And then I'm actually staying the weekend with my brother. We're headed to that National Sports Card and Collectibles Convention.
Oh, nice.
I'm that guy.
You big sports card collectible guy?
I am. My brother's even bigger, so I just dip my toe in it from time to time.
What do you have, like a prized like collection, or like your prized piece of the collection?
Well, my Walter Payton rookie is one of my favorite cards, and then I just acquired Bob Gibson's rookie card, which is 1959, and it's graded and it's pretty sweet. Yeah, good times.
AK, so I was just talking about like day one. I don't know how much you've had a chance to hear. My radar is always up. I try to get a good vibe off of body language, and I get it. It's Big Ten Media Days, but I think I'm 2 for 2, right? I talked about Signetti stealing the show and year one.
Talked about Ferentz a couple of years ago.
Ferentz a couple years ago, and they were really good.
I would even give you Riley a couple years ago with USC, where you're like, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, he was off.
Yeah,
he was off in Indy,
and they weren't great that year.
So, couple of things. Were you surprised at how giddy Schiano and Bielema were in this era of college football? Two kind of old school staunches.
Yeah, a little bit. Absolutely. I just think that at this point, those old school guys have to make a decision whether they're in it or they're not. And obviously it's a new age. And but those guys seem to really embrace it. I watched a lot of the Iowa stuff too, and Ferentz just keeps plodding along. And when he was at the desk with Revson yesterday and the fellas from BTN, I'm sure you saw it, but he was talking about longevity and how he still gets nervous and butterflies. And I was struck by that a little bit, that, he said there's two ways I'm going to leave. One, they're going to tell me to leave. And two is when I don't get butterflies in my stomach anymore before the start of training camp and before the start of games. And I thought that was actually telling. I mean, the dude's been around for 28 years, like to see the changes. I'm just so impressed with the way he is so consistent, and yet, he doesn't have a starting quarterback, and that was the last care in the world to him yesterday. So, and then back to Bielema. You almost get the sense that he enjoys people kind of saying that they're not going to be as good as they think they are.
He's just the key, man. He is a competitive, surly, just kind of an ornery son of a gun, man.
Yeah, and Schiano, don't sleep on Rutgers. They got those two skill guys, the running back and the wide receiver. Holy cow! I mean, those guys, they're going to be a handful if they can get some line play. They're going to be okay. But what did you guys think of Fickell? I thought Fickell was as animated yesterday as I've ever seen him.
I agree. So this is what I think happened with Fickell. You guys can feel free to chime in. This is my hypothesis, right? He had his then AD say, listen, we didn't commit enough resources. We're going to commit more resources. So I think they committed more resources. They finished last year on a high, like playing pretty well in the conference. And then he had a good offseason with his roster, and he strikes me as the type of guy that knew he had to change. He's very buttoned up before, kind of really businessy, even on our visits, right? He wasn't like run through a wall kind of guy. So I think he's kind of gone through this he's just kind of got to let his nuts hang a little bit, I think, because well, I'm sorry. We're not on radio. I can say that, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
You just did. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes yeah. I always check after.
Even if it's still funny. Like it's still a funny thing to say.
Didn't you kind of get that? He's like, let this
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I think he's realized that he's got to let loose a little bit, right? And he's got to go personality plus, at least in the presentation at the beginning of the season, because there's very little buzz for that team, even in the market itself. And
you would know.
Yeah, and just I think people just kind of like, okay, let's see what happens. I think the I-Course tire was actually pretty shrewd by Wisconsin. Sean's a Wisconsin guy, obviously. I think that could work. But I think Fickell knows this is a huge year, and if he doesn't change, he's going to get left behind. And I think that's a big. It was apparent yesterday watching him go through the car wash that this is it's either put up or goodbye time for him.
Andy, I don't know how much you get in the weeds on this, but Bielema made a comment about Josh Whitman getting extended and basically his
great AD.
Yeah, like that's what I was going to ask. Like, do we give Whitman enough credit for being maybe one of the best ADs in the country? Like, he does a phenomenal job, and I don't think. The only reason I know about him is because my buddy's an Illinois guy.
Listen, he was the lead for the Butkus Award, the high school one, and we had all the former Illinois players back. He was so good.
Yeah.
As an athletic director, I was like, and he's fit. He's got that clean shaven head.
Hired Underwood, hired Bielema, just phenomenal.
He seems like he's a dude.
Yeah, my sister is very, she's an Illinois graduate, and she's very involved with the alumni chapter down there. Mm-hmm. And she was telling me a story that, like, on game days, Whitman invites whoever wants to go for his morning run with him to go run with him. That's the kind of guy he is. I mean, the guy's built like a brick house. Yep. And, I don't know if you guys saw this yesterday. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. And, well, there's something about an AD who played, right? He gets it. And I've always been impressed with him. And I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but Illinois is doing a major revamp of their scoreboard. But what I found fascinating is they're not only putting a Jumbotron obviously on the stadium side, but they're putting two big screens on the outside of the Jumbotron for people to watch games either before or after, or maybe even during, for people who just want to go to the stadium and party. I mean, that's the kind of,
That's wild.
Yeah, it was just, if you want to take a look at it, I think WCIA posted video on Twitter. It's a fascinating, it's one of those things you're like, God, well, that's actually kind of a unique idea, for people. How many people go to Nebraska just to go out and have a good Saturday and party and not necessarily go to the games? Well, that might be another way to bring people in and maybe buy a T-shirt or a hat or whatever. So I don't know. I think that what I've heard about Whitman is that he's a guy that really supports his coaches and a guy who has played before. And I don't think you can overestimate the value of that.
That lead in talking about that relationship was.
Well, and he's one of the other guys that talked about alignment. And I don't know the situation at Rutgers the same way, because they talked Schiano talked a lot about vertical alignment, but I'm pretty familiar with the way people around Illinois feel about Whitman. And when Bielema says it, like, I believe him. Like, I have to wonder how much easier his job is because that's his AD compared to a lot of other people around the country, or especially in the conference. And I don't know what that looks like.
How about a guy that's...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm just saying that, how about being free to do your job, right? And knowing your AD has your back. And that's, it sounds so simple, but it is unique in this day and age.
It's a big deal. It's definitely a big deal. Let me ask you something. Obviously we got Michigan State, Minnesota. Was it Ohio State, Oregon, and Purdue, UCLA?
Don't forget about those Boilermakers, right?
Okay,
Purdue, UCLA. Yeah.
So, AK, how weird was it yesterday to hear Kirk Coach Ferentz talk about 7 of his top 8 defensive line guys are gone, right? Rutgers is talking about their skill, and Coach Ferentz is talking about probably needing to play more bodies because they're replacing so many guys up front along their defensive
Nobody's
line.
playing 500 snaps this year.
It's like, it's like bizarro world. Rutgers
No
in their
question.
skill and Iowa replacing their D-line.
Well, but yet Ferentz knows that he's got, he's a guy that knows that he's got dudes, and they just have to develop. And that's the beauty of Iowa. They just keep developing big Iowa bred dudes. And he doesn't have any names right now in terms of named players, but you check back with us in October and we'll have a laundry list of them. And that's going to happen.
Yeah. It's so fascinating. Nebraska gets to go with Northwestern, and people are, Braun's a good coach. I think everybody but Ravi likes Fitz. At the top with the coaching acumen is well established. You think people understand how the degree of difficulty or the coaching acumen in the Big Ten? I mean, from assistants on down. I mean, Indiana's paying their defensive coordinator $3 million.
And isn't Coach Patterson now? He's at USC, right?
Yeah.
So, are you kidding me?
I'm terrified of SC. I really am. I think
I agree
they're going to be lights the frick out.
I agree with you. And let's see, the guys who changed their coaches, the 4 coaches coming into the league or coming back to the league. If you're Pat Fitzgerald, how weird is that going to be today to see him march into Chicago, a place that he's been there before in a different shade of color, and he's going to be saying "Go Green" or "Go Sparty" or whatever their saying is, and that's going to be talk about bizarro world. That's going to be bizarro world. And what Ryan Day and Dan Lanning is going to say today, right? I am fascinated to see what Pat Fitzgerald says today and what his approach is. And honestly, it's good to see him back in the league because that guy is I know that the results weren't there towards the end of his stay at Northwestern, but man, that guy's a coach and that guy's a dude. Talk about a guy who was a player. You guys know, dude was a player back in the day.
I'm guessing what Pat Fitzgerald is going to say is, can anybody find me Mike Hankwitz? Is he available at all?
Here we go.
He's tough on my man, Coach Fitz.
That's what I would be asking if I was Coach Fitzgerald is, can somebody find me the only guy I've ever won games with? That'd be my first question.
Just a bunch of hate. Okay, that's cool. But then let's see they're going to be a different team though this year. Michigan State will. No question.
Let me ask you something, AK. If you got to push your chips towards didn't see that coming. You ready?
Yeah.
Would it be Michigan cracking the top 3, Washington cracking the top 5, or UCLA cracking the top 7?
I think UCLA. Just because I actually think they got something going there, and some people are talking about it. I don't know if enough people know what's going on there because that dude can coach, and he's got some resources. And talk about an easy selling point to get people out to UCLA. I think UCLA is going to get it going this year. And granted, can James Madison be the new hub of the cradle of coaches? I don't know. We'll see. But I think UCLA. I think that has that could be the most likely of the 3 scenarios. But I'll tell you what, it is a fascinating year in the Big Ten, especially with Kyle Whittingham with the Michigan thing. We haven't even discussed that. And I can't wait to see what he's able to do with the talent he has at Michigan. Because talk about a guy who can coach, going back to coaching. That dude can coach.
Yep.
And again, and I've been saying this for a month or two, so I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse. But for as much as Michigan can be flying under the radar, I think they are. We've talked we've talked manual, we've talked sanctions. Nobody's actually talked that he put together a pretty good staff, and that roster's legit. We hate Bryce Underwood. They
got that quarterback. Underwood.
It just seems like we're sleeping on Michigan.
It does. And I tell you what, Underwood was highly touted for a reason, and he learned some lessons last year. And you can just imagine what kind of steps he's taken between year 1 and year 2. It is I would say that Michigan has a real legit chance to land in that top 3 with the talent they have across the board and the coaching they're going to get this year with Kyle Whittingham and staff. That's a team that look out, because they're going to win some games this year.
That's Andy Kendi, KETV. AK, have a safe drive and try not to spend any more time in Iowa than you have to.
Thanks, will do. Thanks, boys.
Thanks, buddy.
That's Andy Kendi from KETV. What I've been trying to figure out with the Underwood thing, right? Because I've been pretty pro him and Beck together, right? I feel like if he can figure out a way to get Devin Dampier to play well at Utah, even though we don't totally trust his passing acumen and his ability to play catch, I feel like he'll be able to get good things out of Bryce Underwood as well. What I can't figure out is how, and this is the royal we question, how we decide.
I'm sure Neutron is tickled you didn't take a break at the top of the
hour.
We'll
take a break here in a second. This could be a tease. I'm going to ask you this question. We can answer it on the other side.
Okay. What am I pondering over the next few minutes?
We decide which highly touted guys that maybe don't always hit the ground running as true freshmen that we're going to be high on in terms of, they're going to take that leap versus like, they suck, we're out. Because it seems pretty indiscriminate on the guys that are like,
when we're head first, willing to break our neck.
Yeah, and when we're just like, whoa, that guy sucks. Because that's where we're at with Underwood right now, right? Like as a royal we.
I'm not.
No, I'm not either.
I think it's fascinating.
But that seems to be the general consensus is, Underwood bust, right?
But I think we should talk about this. This is on the heels of a conversation I had on a board yesterday.
This was my problem last year, by the way. It wasn't a DJ Lagway thing.
You're going into it.
No, this is a teaser. But like this was what the real issue was last year with all the quarterbacks. I was like, are we sure?
Yeah.
It was this.
That was angry, Ravi.
I don't understand how we make the distinctions, and that was all sort of my point. But I'll let you think about that and see if you can figure out any common threads here while we take a break.
Is there any other Ravi besides angry Ravi?
Yeah, I'm chill all the time. Just not at you. I'm usually mad at you, Shane.
There's the condescending Ravi. There's
petty Ravi.
There's petty Ravi. There's definitely him. And there's angry Ravi. The nice Ravi is almost never here.
Oh, it is. It's just off air.
It's offsite.
There's off air Ravi.
It's when you're taking your kids to lunch.
That's true. Yeah, where I got to take the boys to lunch, make sure
the
they
dogs
eat.
out, or coming over at 6 a.m. grabbing a phone.
I got you. No big deal.
Stuff like that.
We'll be right back. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
I mean, it definitely it's such an opportunity for all of us of just you look back and my parents were saying if I could go back and play 5th year of college sports, no doubt in my mind I would. And so for me, I'm just kind of looking at it as it's an opportunity for me, but I'm trying not to let it put any pressure on me. And so this is my senior year, and you get one senior year to go have fun, go whatever. And so I'm okay, I'm going to take my senior year, enjoy it as my senior year. And then at the end of my senior year, if my body's able, if my mindset is where it needs to be, if my relationship with basketball is where it needs to be, and I have an opportunity to take a 5th year, there's no doubt in my mind I would take it. But it's also I don't want to expect to take a 5th year and then get to the end of this year and something goes wrong or something's not right. And it's I just took this year for granted, already making my mind up that I'm taking a 5th year. And so obviously if my body's right and whatever, I really want to take it. It's just going to depend.
Are you feeling off, low energy, poor sleep? At Next Gen Male Medical, we not only evaluate your testosterone, but overall health. Schedule a visit at nextgenmmc.com. Together, we'll get you back on your game.
It's time to sizzle into summer at Edwards Kia. Lease the 2026 Kia Sportage EX starting at $249 a month. Turn up the heat on your next lease. This July, the savings are as hot as the season. We've also got the 2027 Kia Telluride S starting at $449 a month. Don't wait. Sizzle into summer this July at Edwards Kia. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Kia.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
I'm really excited about the team we have coming back. And, you know, I'll close with this. The great New Jersey and Bill Parcells. I heard him once say, you are what your record says you are. We were 5-7 last year. That's unacceptable. But you know what? We know what we had to fix, and we spent the last 8 months fixing it. And I really look forward to coaching this team.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Next Gen Male Medical. Don't forget to give our friends over at Next Gen a call, 402-614-9700. Maybe it'll help you turn in, you know,
To me?
to kind of like, you know, maybe you're a curmudgeon like Greg Schiano was,
Silver Surfer.
or Luke Fickell, and all of a sudden you're like, man, I need a little more pep in my step, and you turn into what we saw from Luke Fickell and Greg Schiano yesterday, where they're like, hey, let's ready to go. We're rock and rolling.
Schiano might be onto something, though. But it definitely has my attention. And, you know, I'm not one of those guys. It's like,
he might be onto some Next Gen. Give him a call.
Listening to you yap. And then I'm like, ooh, run through a wall.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather have all my peptides and then try to run through a wall.
That's right. 402-614-9700.
I can't see them until Friday. And I
know you're gone.
And I was
You're
back
back on
the
schedule.
I was back on the midday schedule.
Because you can't go today, right? You're out. You don't have time.
No, I imagine we fly at 1:10.
Yeah. What time are you going to get there?
I mean, it's Omaha, so
probably be
probably
like
11:10. Noon? Heck no.
I'm an early airport guy.
Yeah,
so
me too. I'm typically
like 2 hours minimum.
40.
Mine's 2 hours minimum.
I'm thinking I got to leave by 10:55.
Probably.
Enough time to shower and make sure my pods are charged.
Yeah. I think so.
That's why I'm glad Zoe's not home.
Like, you haven't been anywhere. Why are you showering again?
Got to restart my day.
Hey, I'm on my That's why I have to do my towels frequently, because I guarantee that mug's not dry for this
You're
morning.
doing like 3 a day.
Just because I'm traveling, I have to start the day over.
No, I understand.
I'm already negotiating with Sasha. I was like, that
thing wet.
Can we get back to the spot tomorrow so I can
shower before you leave again?
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on when the checkout is.
That's what she's working on.
Yeah.
But it's like an Airbnb, man. Just tell them we're leaving at 5.
Yeah, you should have a little bit more time.
It ain't even 24 hours. They should just let us stay. What time we rolling in there? Like 2:45?
At the earliest.
3?
Yeah, probably. Because I mean, it's 110. It's an hour flight. By the time you get out of the airport and everything, I mean, you're probably looking at least 3.
Yeah, just give me 26 hours.
Yeah, it's fine.
26 hours, couple showers, a chance to eat a meal.
When's your flight tomorrow? When's your flight tomorrow?
9:25
at night.
Yeah. So, and I think Nebraska's done with their stuff by 5.
Okay,
that's fine.
So just let me, and it's across the street. Just let me walk over, do my thing, start over.
Hop, skip, and a jump, ready to go.
Yeah. I'm not getting on a 9 o'clock flight without
showering again.
It's just a me thing.
Yeah. No, I get it. That's a long day.
I'm going to try to do as little as possible. Although she already laid out what I'm supposed to be doing. So I was like, at least I'm not guessing.
Is there, did you get a chance?
I ain't have to do the heavy. I mean, Avery's.
If a player wants to record a TikTok, you doing it?
No, I've never been in a TikTok. Not live of my own volition.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we've posted like our clips on TikTok, but
yeah,
you're not like.
I want to see a Damon dancing TikTok.
I wonder how inebriated I'd have to be.
Let's find out.
This is something that I have now made my life's mission. This is now my life goal.
Let's get it drunk so I can take advantage of it. What is this, high school?
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I get you a bottle of Butterfly Cannon. We'll get you in a TikTok.
It would probably go
before the season starts. Let's all just
happy late birthday, DB. I got you.
have a night on the town.
I thought, whoa.
Oh, if he's on the town, it's certainly not happening.
Not a chance.
A night at Damon's house.
At DB's house. That's the only place it's gonna happen.
A TikTok.
You gotta get a nice C movie.
You know, Zoe's the TikTok queen. She could pull it off.
Everyone wants to know you got some MC Hammer moves.
No. I'm not a big Hammer guy. He's not a guy that I enjoyed listening to when he.
You weren't a big fan of MC Hammer's music.
Yeah, like some of the songs that I like probably aren't his most.
Oh, like his super popular ones. Yeah, they're like more B-sides, little deep cuts.
I was a big "Have You Seen Her" guy. Have you seen her? It was a kind of a remake.
Yeah, all I got is can't touch this. That's all I got.
Too Legit to Quit was
I know that one.
my favorite.
I know that one.
But
Have You Seen Her? It's great.
Yeah.
Too legit to quit.
I'm so proud of you, Ravi.
I powered through that one. Did you get a chance to think about my question?
I did, and you know what I think it is?
What's that?
So
to reset, the question is, which quarterbacks that struggled early in their careers do we decide to write off versus the ones we think are going to make a jump?
I've thought about this.
Okay.
And for all the talk we bring up about athleticism and dual threat and running ability. Do you know what it boils down to on whether we like a quarterback or not?
What's that?
Can he throw the ball?
Disagree.
That's fine.
Because DJ Lagway can't throw
and we didn't like him.
No, nationally though. I'm talking about nationally.
I mean, he's the outlier because you had a hard on because he was getting too much run. But nobody really thought that had watched football that Lagway had proven anything. Because even at Florida, it was the rushing yards. Those last 4 games, it wasn't his passing prowess.
I get
Sellers, it wasn't his throwing prowess. We didn't think Arch Manning could complete a ball further than 25 yards down the field.
And for about 8 games, he couldn't.
Right? So I think that's Underwood's knock. I'm not sure if this guy can play catch. So I think when we want to be all in on it, with even Damon Williams, when I was kind of a little early on the hype train, it was his passing prowess that got me.
Yeah, because he could play catch. He could
like that guy's. Why am I in on Jennings? You watch. The guy can play catch. Why was I lukewarm on Mateer? He couldn't play catch.
Jennings can play catch with the other team.
He can play catch. You're such a hater. He can play catch with the other team. Go back and watch Smoo.
Did he or did he not lead the ACC in interceptions?
He threw 13 picks, but that's okay.
I'm just saying. He makes some questionable decisions. He can play catch, but he's gonna.
Why did KJ say that?
He's gonna put the ball in harm's way.
No, but it's a vastly different era. Shake and bake. Like T. Phrase is not.
Yeah, I mean nobody's running no power conference teams are running triple option or that's not. We're not.
Although they do RPO.
Yeah, I get that, but it's not the.
Yeah, we ain't
volume. And it's not the.
Turner give 1580.
Yeah, we're not talking about the volume of run pass that Nebraska was doing.
Ain't nothing to it the way you do it.
If you hit double-digit passing attempts in a game, that was pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I think that's what we boil it down to.
Is can they play catch?
Yeah, because we don't like the guys that we think just run around and make plays. I'm dead serious.
I don't know. I feel like we get enamored with them.
Not
you and me.
The closest I can think of before I felt like he had a breakout year was I thought we were early on Levitt.
Okay.
And I was like, I got to see
prior
it.
to the ASU year.
Yeah, I was like, I got to see it.
Okay. He didn't. I mean, some people liked him, but it wasn't like a crazy hype train.
I mean, he was. I mean, just 2 years later and only half a season of last year, he's like everybody's top 6-7 quarterbacks.
What do you do with guys like Klubnik and Nussmeier that really fell on their face last year? Nussmeier, there's some injuries there, so I'll kind of give a little.
I was out on Nussmeier because I just didn't think he was a good enough arm talent.
Okay.
Klubnik, I never really liked.
Okay.
I just thought the thing about Klubnik was I just felt like in crunch time, he was going to melt down.
Yeah.
Now, that's anecdotally.
Sure.
But it just seemed like, man, if this guy's got to make a play, that thing's getting airmailed to Alaska somewhere.
Oh, Funky brings Avery Johnson at KSU had quite a bit of hype coming in the last couple of years.
Yep. And what is it about Avery?
I mean,
we're just not sure he
can play catch. He does run around and make plays, though.
But you watch.
You think he can now? Because you're pretty high on him. Because Colin Klein.
I'm high on him and Colin Klein.
Yeah. I do think that is – so I'm more willing to pair it with an offensive coordinator that I trust. Right?
Oh, that's your Beck Underwood love.
That's my Beck Underwood love. That's my Calandria Holgerson thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Calandria is a really good fit for a Holgerson offense. Right?
And I would think for as giddy as Dana would get, I would assume he's pretty excited.
I look at
he's not cartwheels or
he's
guy,
pretty even. He's not a real like skirt and pom poms type guy. But
like fall out of my chair.
Like you take
that's that TikTok for you.
We almost had it. You take it in a vacuum. I can sit here and be like, yeah, there are probably a lot of check boxes on like the talent sheet where Dylan Raiola checks the box over an Anthony Calandria. Obviously, mobility is not one of those, but if you're talking about arm talent and things like that, but I do think Anthony Calandria is a dramatically better fit for what Daniel Holgerson likes to do. So that I think is a huge factor that maybe nationally people aren't considering. I like the Underwood Beck fit a ton. I like the Colin Klein Avery Johnson thing, and it makes me worry about Marcel Reed down at A&M.
Yeah, that's why I asked Bret.
Yeah,
no, was it Bret the question? No, who did I ask the question? Because it was for both guys.
Phil? Steele?
I don't know. I just remember them saying that's an amazing question. Of course. That's all I can remember.
We got to hold on to those.
But it was 2 coordinators, 4 coaches.
Yes.
I did the gain loss thing with Marcel Reed and Avery and Chambliss and Kiffin.
Yeah.
And Levitt.
Yeah. Levitt, Chambliss with Kiffin and Reed.
Really Weiss, but Kiffin too.
I mean, I'm going to, anytime Kiffin's there, I'm going to give him most of the credit on the offense. Listen,
did you not watch Ole Miss in Georgia?
I did.
That Chambliss guy looked pretty good for Weiss, and I think your boy was in Baton Rouge somewhere chilling.
I understand that, but this is sort of the like everything was in place at that point.
Dude, he played out of his gourd.
I get that. It's not just about like the individual in-game play calling.
Listen, I need you to go back and watch that Georgia Ole Miss game.
I watched that game.
I do.
I watched that game. You want to talk about a guy running around making plays? How much credit am I giving that to Weiss?
Why would you give it to Kiffin? Because he stumbled over the starting job for the first 4 weeks?
No, because over the course of the season.
Well, somebody's talking to that guy in his ear.
In that one game, yes, but were we not counting anything that happened before that that got him ready for that moment?
Weiss Jr. was still his quarterback's coach.
Okay, sure.
Still his OC. Why you just skip the guy?
Because this is the same thing we do. Like, I don't care who Bo Pelini's defensive coordinator was in 2009. Like, that was a Bo Pelini deal.
I don't know. You sit in enough practices and watch him Yeah, I don't know about that.
Okay.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
I'm just
yes and no.
I think it looks a lot different without Kiffin, even if Weiss is still there.
Whose offense isn't in Indiana?
That's a fair question.
Is it Shanahan's?
Yeah. We don't look at Cignetti as like genius play caller. That's like Kiffin's bread and butter. That's how he came up.
We look at him in the quarterback development world and we're like, oh God, he knows. He does all the talking about Kiffin. Cignetti says Mendoza and Hoover at the same spot. And we're like, did you hear what Sig said?
Yeah.
Well, you weren't like, well,
that's because
let me hear from Mike Shanahan.
That's because I what have I told you I think Sig's superpower is?
Oh, I don't know.
Talent eval. Over anything else, I think that's what his superpower is. So when I hear him say, hey, Josh, like when I see the quarterback development, I think he selects quarterbacks better than almost anybody. I think he selects the people on his team better than almost anybody. Once they're in the building, I think he lets his coaches coach. I think he's an incredible talent evaluator, an incredible culture setter, and a great CEO. I don't look at Sig and go play caller.
How do you decide when you want to?
Because that's not how Sig came up at all. Like the reason Kiffin has head coaching jobs.
Can I just ask you the question?
Yeah. So go ahead.
How do you decide when you want to give the coach credit versus the coordinator? Is it what their prowess is?
It's based on how the head coach came up. Like if Sig had come up as like, hey, he's this elite play caller. This is what he does. This is why he got the head coaching job. But there's a reason it took him so long to get a good job. It's because he didn't come up that path. He came up an alternate route that people had to see like, hey, you got to prove it to me over and over and over again. Whereas Kiffin, because he had
don't think he could have done something different leaving Bama versus going to get a lower level head coaching job?
I mean, he might have been able to get a coordinator job somewhere. I'm not sure what that would have looked like, though.
Okay.
I just have no idea.
I'm picking your brain.
That's fine. I don't even like, I'd have to go look at like IUP and stuff like that. I don't even know like his experience calling plays, like how much he's ever done it. Like that's just not really a thing. Like that's not how, in my knowledge of what he's done, like how he's operated.
I know a lot of times when they pan to him on the sidelines, he's talking through his headset.
Yeah, who's he talking to though? Is he talking to Shanahan?
Yeah, I don't know. My point is he may be doing more than we think.
No, I think he's involved. Like I'm not saying I'm not gonna go all Sam here and say he's sitting on a stool on the sideline or anything like that. But like that's different. Like coaching.
Was that John Cook?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is not a good day.
If I'm saying he's a great culture builder and a great CEO, I think he's coaching his coaches really, really well.
Do you remember our Twitter timeline that day?
Yeah, it was pretty aggressive.
It was rough.
Yeah. It was pretty aggressive. There's a lot of notifications that day.
It's like, what's going on? What was said again? Oh, that.
That's where I make the differentiation is guys that came up calling plays and that was their prowess versus guys that didn't.
So let me ask you one because he's tricky.
I do the same with Norvell. I give Norvell either most the credit or blame.
You like Ryan Day as a play caller or non-play caller?
So he is super tricky. That's a good one. Look at you trying to trap me.
Always. I'm like, hey, what's up? Hello.
I think I give, because he's had his most success when he handed it off to Chip Kelly, I think I have to give him credit as non-play caller, even though that's how he came up.
I feel like, and I just ask a lot of questions rapid fire. I feel like you're going to manipulate the discussion.
I think Ryan Day is very involved in the offense. I think his most successful team is when he wasn't calling plays. That's hard to ignore.
Next question.
Like we know for a fact, like that he handed it off, and then they won a national championship. Like that's hard.
That threw me for a loop.
Well, you know, it's hard to ignore that with Ryan Day. He is one of the tougher ones though, because he's gone back and forth multiple times as the head coach, whether he's calling plays or not.
That's a great question, DJ. Better coordinator, Lane or Monty?
Ooh, that's tough. I give Lane a lot of credit for the back half of the Saban dynasty for modernizing their offense.
Even though it wasn't near as long as you think.
No, but
was it like a 2-year stint
for him being there? But he's the one that convinced Saban that he needed to change the offense. And Saban's admitted that.
Nick did say that.
So, like, I give him.
Did I say Nick?
Coach Saban. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
I'm not calling him Nick to his face, so I wouldn't say it here.
But so, yeah, like I'd probably go Monty, though.
Me too.
I probably gotta go Monty. Just the
Longevity's sake.
longevity and just prowess at different levels. And
I don't know. Lane's done it a couple spots though.
he has, but famously not great at the NFL.
Oh, I got a question for Bill.
We got Bill Bender coming up next from the Sporting News.
That's a good one.
You got a good one?
Yes. We call that a tease.
That is a tease. Bill Bender coming next. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live. If losing weight is harder than you expected, it's not just about willpower. At Next Gen Male Medical Clinic, we build a supervised plan around your body, not someone else's. Schedule a visit at nextgenmmc.com. Let's get you moving forward.
Yeah, he's an elite passer. That's one thing I've really been impressed with Trev, and we saw that. But when you play against, I guess, bigger, more athletic players, how is that going to translate? But I think it was last week he had a couple week stretch rate of 20-3 assist to turnover ratio, and I think his team in the scrimmage was 27-7 assist to turnover. So he's really on time, on target, simple plays, gets the ball into the pocket, and when we do that, we have very efficient offense. So I've been really impressed with that. And then defensively, he's doing a great job getting his hands on the basketball, getting deflections. He and Taj, I think, are two of the highest that we've had as far as deflections, and Kale and Jacob has been good in that area as well. But Trev's, he's always in the right spot. He's a very smart, high IQ player.
It's time to sizzle into summer at Edwards Kia. Lease the 2026 Kia Sportage EX starting at $249 a month. Turn up the heat on your next lease. This July, the savings are as hot as the season. We've also got the 2027 Kia Telluride S starting at $449 a month. Don't wait. Sizzle into summer this July at Edwards Kia. It pays to make the drive to Edwards Kia.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
In the last 2 years in the Big Ten Conference, we're number 4 behind Indiana, Oregon, Ohio State in 4 really cool categories: win percentages, Power 4 wins, home wins, and ranked wins. And I think if Illinois was in that messaging as that spot in the Big Ten Conference, a lot of people would find that hard to believe, but not for me. The walk that we walk, the players that we have here today, it's been absolutely awesome.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports HQ. We are joined now by Bill Bender from the Sporting News. Bill, how are we doing this morning?
Hey, Ravi. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
Oh, we're doing good.
Bill, I'm putting you on the hot seat right away, man. Because we've been going back and forth. Ravi, is this the catalyst to this whole thing started with when we decide when we're all in or all out on a phenom, right? And we were comparing like DJ Lagway last year, where everybody was super high, to a guy like Bryce Underwood this year, where we're like, yeah, I don't know, right? It just seems kind of arbitrary. I said it comes down to, with these athletic guys, and how well we think they can play catch. And he's like, well, I'll take it one step further. I'd like to pair them with their coordinators. So then that morphed into the question I'm getting ready to ask you now, because a couple of these guys really get credit for their quarterbacks, even though their OCs have been pretty good, because we kind of think they're the guys. So if you have to take the combo of head coach with offensive coordinator play calling prowess, rank these three guys: Kiffin, Sarkisian, and who was my third? And Ryan Day. Kiffin, Sarkisian, Ryan Day.
Well, I think I heard some of that on the last segment. Look, Ryan Day is an unbelievable offensive coordinator, but I mean, they did win a national championship when he wasn't calling plays. I think, and there was some debate about why that went wrong against Miami. On his own, tremendous play caller. So Sark's an excellent play caller, and Kiffin is too. I would still rank them Day, Sark, Kiffin, but it's really close between Day and Sark, because I think Sark's had more time to compartmentalize, the role he had at USC versus, being able to call plays. And I think Arch Manning in the second year with Sark, there's going to be better results there. It's a tough one, though. I mean, I don't want to shortchange Ryan Day. Their offense has been a proven commodity since he was the offensive coordinator for Urban Meyer.
Do you look at Ohio State's offense, though, independent of their talent? Because with Chambliss and Lacey, or the list goes on and on for Kiffin, even the development of second half Manning, vertical in the passing game, and what Sark's been able to do with some of his quarterbacks, it seems like Day has had significantly more to work with when it comes to like game planning. I like the other two guys because of their creativity.
Yeah, not to mention the receivers at Ohio State. I mean,
that's fair. That's a fair point, DB, because I was thinking about it. I'll think about it this way. It's been 2 years ago when I went to that Texas-Michigan game. And Michigan won the national title the year before, and you kind of knew Texas was going to win the game, but it's the way they won the game. Michigan had no answer for them. They were able to run the ball. Quinn Ewers was hitting third down passes. And to your point, it wasn't with the same level of talent at receiver, even though, Ryan Wingo's good. Their backs were good. I'm trying to think the tight end they had at the time. It might've been Gunnar Helm. So they had guys, Matthew Golden. So yeah, the creativity on Sark is off the charts. And Kiffin last year, obviously making it work with Trinidad Chambliss. I think Kiffin and Sark in particular, they are very creative. They've made it work. But I think Ryan Day, sometimes Ohio State gets penalized for how much talent they have, and that's not their fault. Julian Sayin in particular, I'll say it.
And he's the one that gets it the most because, people kind of question his arm talent, and it's like, I don't know, I'd rather throw to those guys.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a quarterback with a 77% completion percentage than with not. I mean, like that kind of thing. Like he does get penalized a little bit for who he's throwing to. Thought he played well and hung in there in the Miami game, all things considered, because it was going south up front, when you've got Messidor and Bain bearing down on you. And yeah, they threw the one interception, but he hung in there in that game. I think Julian Sayin's a lot better than given credit for. He's the only returning Heisman finalist we have.
Are you surprised that Mensa gets such a bump, even though he's connected with Cristobal? Is that more the Ward kind of Beck thing? Like it can work in this offense, but that style of play, maybe it's just his weapons, right? Because he does have an elite receiving core, but Mensa gets a huge bump. even though I think Miami wants to play a certain way.
I agree. And, you know, I think we've seen him do it at two different systems. He played well at Tulane. We played well at Duke. You assume with Shannon Dawson, that receiver group that they have led by Malachi Toney, that, yeah, they'll be pretty good. And that's why he's getting that bump into that next quarterback that Miami's a borderline national championship contender. They do have a nice depth chart when you look at it, right? On the offensive side, on the defensive side, even though they lost several players to the NFL draft, they have enough talent back that's why they're the ACC favorite. So yeah, he is an interesting quarterback paired with Dawson, and you hate to assume, but Ward got a bump there. Beck got a bump there. Beck was better last year.
Yeah.
You know, I thought he played very well. People get on him about turnovers, but bottom line is, you know, he could start for the Cardinals in week 1. I don't think he will, but, you know, he'll have a chance to play for the Cardinals this year.
I don't know. Brissett just
the
master negotiating, man. Shout out to Jacoby Brissett. That was the way to stand your ground. Slot these 3 guys for me. I think they all have a little something to prove. One guy's lost his OC, though. Give me Marcel Reed, Mensah, and Jennings.
Ooh. I like Mensa the most this year, but it's close with Marcel Reed. I think Texas A&M is one of the teams I've probably talked about the least, that you forget that they have a solid coach and a solid foundation and plenty of money.
No Coach Klein, though. I think it'll hurt.
That's true. That's not going to help. And, you know, they're talking a lot in Big 12 about how Colin Klein's going to help Avery Johnson, which I
agree.
I do buy that one.
Me too. Preach. Avery Johnson will make one of the bigger jumps from year over year because he's reunited with Klein. I am all in on that thought process.
Johnson, he's tremendous arm talent, can run. Interesting year for Kansas State. Maybe not talking about them enough either. Mensa first, Reed second, and then who was the third guy? I've been talking too long. Well, I mean, I like Kevin Jennings too. And so this is tough because he is in the same system, and that SMU team picked to finish second or third in the ACC. He'll be the reason why. Turnovers have been an issue at times, but you know, the experience, and he's a good guy. He's all-time good guy for that program. Really cares about the Dallas area, gives back a lot. I like the Kevin Jennings story, no doubt.
Bill, so it's funny that we bring up Mensa here because we're talking about DB and I were talking about sort of the head coach credit versus offensive coordinator credit. Yeah. And Shannon Dawson is one of those guys on the offensive coordinator side of things. He came up under Holgerson, who we're very familiar with now here in Nebraska. And so I do wonder, like, how much of that, and obviously he's done really, really well the last couple of years in Miami with Ward and Beck, but like, I don't think of Miami and think of, oh, I'm enamored with the scheme. I'm enamored with some of the playmaking, especially with Ward a couple years ago. But like, is that fair to put it on the player in that situation as opposed to the offensive scheme? Or do we need to give a little bit more credit when they've done it with a couple different guys in a couple different ways? Because obviously Ward and Beck are very different stylistically.
Yeah, I like Dawson. And I think he's one that, you know, you go out on the street, hey, what do you think about Shannon Dawson? Who? What? You know, like, he doesn't get enough. He's one of those offensive coordinators that probably doesn't get enough credit. And, you know, it marries well. It's something that stuck out to me last year at ACC Media Days. Remember asking Mario Cristobal about, you know, a general question about Carson Beck and why he fit. And he said when they were watching film, he married really well with what they want to do, running the football and then into the passing game. But running the football was first. Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of program that Mario's built around the offensive line in the trenches. One of the things that stands out that they do talk about in Columbus is he's one of the few coaches that has wore Ohio State out twice. Did it with Oregon, and he did it with Miami, and he did it up front. They weren't just beat. They were beat physically in the trenches. And that's something that when that happens and you have a coach that can do that, it stands out.
One of these teams is my dark horse in the conference, but I don't want to ask a leading question. Who has the better year in the conference, Houston or Oklahoma State?
Houston, even though Oklahoma State is an excellent sleeper with Eric Morris, it just may take some time, right? You do bring in Drew Mestemaker. You bring in Caleb Hawkins, who had 25 touchdowns last year. But I think Houston's in a little bit better spot coming off a 10-win season, has 2 5-star quarterbacks believe it or not, and Connor
I
Wigman.
think they could play for the conference championship. That's my ACC dark horse.
Yeah, they could absolutely win the conference. They could absolutely win the conference, get to the playoff. They're in that upper tier with BYU, Texas Tech, and Utah. That's the top quarter of the Big 12. And I do think that with Connor Wigman, they'll mix in Keyshawn Henderson. I have a interest in that. How do they rep in another 5-star quarterback behind Wigman? But Willie Fritz is a hell of a football coach, and I think that'll show up this year.
There are so many interesting schools that have two good you've got Bama, you've got even Mississippi State. You've got we're just talking about Houston. You've got Florida. You've got North Carolina State. There are these schools with a couple of really good quarterbacks with a pup coming in. I hate to fast forward past 2026 because you're the quarterback is going to be fascinating, but there are going to be some really good quarterbacks, at least start brand recognition on the move next year.
Yep.
Some of these rosters are pretty good at the QB spot.
Yeah, I mean, whenever you have two, I mean, you could even look at Ohio State and say Tavian St. Clair. They like him too, and this is his second year in the system. So Florida, that's another one. And whoever John Summerall picks, Alabama, which guy, Keelan Russell or Austin Mack, actually puts them in position, because we know Kalen can develop the QB. That's one interesting thing with me. For all the Kalen DeBoer criticism, how many coaches can say, look, I had Michael Penix. I know he's battling a shoulder injury. I'd put Milroe in the league, and I put Ty Simpson in the league. Maybe those guys aren't first-team all-pro superstars, but when you're putting QBs in the league, it speaks to QB development, and I think Kalen DeBoer will continue to do that at Alabama.
Are you surprised that the talk that surrounds Bama, I'll stay right there with them, has a lot to do with the perception and lack of physicality? Like that seems to be the reoccurring theme, right? It's like they just aren't tough enough. We're only a couple years removed from Saban. Is that the bugaboo that DeBoer's got to shake?
Yes. And, well, certain schools have certain identities, right? Like when Michigan, they love Kyle Whittingham, and I think part of the reason they love him is they know they're going to be physical with him, right? Like a Kyle Whittingham team isn't coming out there and not going to hit you a little bit. And I think at Alabama, that dates back to Bear Bryant. We're doing some Sporting News 140 anniversary content, and you go back and look at the numbers on like Alabama 1979. You're like, man, I wasn't there, but I bet that defense was hitting people. And it was Alabama at the height of their dynasty. I would even argue, if you ask Nick Saban, which part did you prefer? The first half of the dynasty when you had Ingram and Henry and Trent Richardson, and you were just pounding teams, or that second half where you had Tua and, Mac Jones, and you were throwing it all around the yard? I guarantee you I know what the answer to that is. And that's one thing that sticks out with Alabama. The reason they kind of flopped last year at the end, they couldn't run the football. And when you can't run the football at places like that, it's going to get a lot of attention.
Bill, let's stay in the SEC for a second here. More likely to underperform expectations, in your opinion, LSU or Ole Miss?
Woo. All right, I'm pausing.
We may have argued about this for a couple of weeks.
I'm calling. I think underperform expectations this year, probably LSU, because, or I could cheapen my answer and say whoever loses that game, because that game is going to, I think, have a trajectory for both teams. There's going to be so much emotion involved. The winner catapult, the loser probably going to take a week to figure it out after that, because there's going to be so much emotion behind that September 19th game. LSU schedule-wise, though, it's tough. They do play Alabama. They do play Texas, both at home. Play Clemson. They've got Tennessee mixed in there, and that's a trip to Tennessee where, the mustard's going to be flying because they're in Knoxville. So I'm going to say that. And I think, looking at Ole Miss, their roster's pretty good. They've got several All-Americans on our preseason All-American team. Guys like Trinidad Chambliss, Kewan Lacey. Defensively, they're going to be pretty good. Their kicker's awesome. So they've got players over there. And I think Pete Golding showed me last week that he's not afraid to take this job head on.
He was sensational.
Yeah, I liked him a lot.
I thought he won, and it's hard in the SEC. I mean, sans Kiffin, going sobriety and kind of what that meant for him. I thought Golding probably was my favorite on how he took it on, right? The NIL, the 100 years of how recruiting has gone, that he's willing to play whatever game needs to be played. Like he didn't take a back seat. Let me ask you this. Again, I don't want to lead. Of teams that can win a national title in the SEC, who's coming from furthest off the discussion? Texas, Oklahoma, or Georgia?
A lot of momentum around Oklahoma, but I think I would say they're the longest shot of the three. I do love
they could be 11-1 before you blink.
Yeah. I mean, looking at their schedule, that could happen. Mateer, how do they? We'll know more about Oklahoma, similar to we'll know more about Texas when they step into that week 2 game, kind of the Red River, the game crossover matchup. I love that. They're missing a marketing opportunity here with crossing over that rivalry with Ohio State, Michigan. And I think both of those games are going to be huge. Like Texas's roster a lot around Arch. And I think, we tossed this question around a lot last week where I think there's more pressure on Sark than Arch. But then the pushback is Sark's not going to get fired if they go 8-4. He's just going to hear that, man, how did you not win with all those guys? And how did you not make a deep playoff run with Arch Manning? And they're pretty loaded. Georgia is the easiest answer to say they're the best bet to win a national title because seeing them do it twice this decade, we're not really talking about Georgia. They're loaded.
It's crazy. They're my pick to win the national title. And nobody, again, it's like they're kind of, for as much as Georgia can be, they're an afterthought.
It's crazy.
Georgia is loaded. Stockton is a baller.
I'll say part of it's because we're not enamored with Gunnar Stockton, right?
No, it's their receivers.
Oh, fair.
That's it. They don't have the guys that he's throwing to so much. And they got the running game. They got the offensive line. They got some dudes in the secondary. Ellis Robinson, KJ Bolden.
That linebacking core is elite.
Raylan at linebacker. They're going to be Georgia awesome. But Kirby's probably loving all of this because he's like, nobody out there believes in you. They're putting up Texas. They're putting up these Big Ten teams. Everybody's talking about Notre Dame. So there's plenty of motivation for Georgia. And I think some of it stems from the same thing Oregon's going through is, the last 2 years we've watched these teams lose in the quarterfinals. And it is amazing how watch that become the norm, that we start judging teams not so much on, hey, Georgia won the SEC back-to-back championships, went through their schedule, but they lost in the quarterfinals.
You remember we had Bill, that is fascinating. We had a knockdown drag out about what's the equivalent in this playoff to the Elite 8 or Sweet 16 to get a coach off the hook. Because all we heard was, if you go to 24 and then it's, everybody gets in and it's job security. And I was like, there's no way. It's going to be just like basketball where
the Sweet
16 or the Elite 8, depending on your school, that's not going to be good enough. And for you're saying, listen, quarters, what's the quarters? We need to at least be in the semis.
Yeah, semis or bust,
right? It's fascinating.
Certain programs are going to look at it differently. And I had this discussion this morning about a 2014 playoff where, who's that going to benefit? A school like Iowa that in a 2014 setup, the last 12 years, they would have been in 5 or 6 times. A school like NC State who, with Dave Dorn always around the 9-win mark. 9 wins probably get you in. But what's success look like? Here in Columbus, it's not they wouldn't just a playoff berth isn't enough. They can never win enough here. And there's certain places where they can never win enough. But so what did you guys come up with? Because mine right now, to me,
we say the Sweet 16 gets a coach off the hot seat, right?
Well, that's on the program.
That's where we're at now, because I think the equivalent to me making the 12 team is a Sweet 16 to me.
Yes, I agree.
Is that about right?
Fair. Yeah, that's right.
But there's some programs where you have to make the Final Four in either sport. Like Duke making the Sweet 16 gets you fired. North Carolina making the Sweet 16
would be the equivalent to Ohio State losing in the quarters.
Yeah, you got to make the semis. If you're Duke or North Carolina or Kansas, you got to make the semis in basketball. That's a Final Four team. If you're Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, you better make the semis. Otherwise, we're not even having a discussion here.
Bill, let me ask you something. Because you can kill two birds with one stone. Miami, Notre Dame, obviously head to head. Most people think who doesn't win that game can't lose another one because of the schedule if it gets to be a toss-up again. Fact or fiction at first blush?
Well, I think Notre Dame, they're going to get to 10. So what games could they lose? It's looking like, unless you believe I don't think Wisconsin's going to beat them. So it's like SMU, BYU, and of course that Miami game, which I can't wait for, by the way. I'm pulling up Miami's schedule here to see what other games.
That game in like week 9 or 10 or whenever they play might be for who could be undefeated. Could you lose another one?
And I think that rivalry is going to heat up because, they did. So Miami plays at Clemson. And then looking at the back half of their schedule, I suppose, most of their tough ones, Florida State, Pitt, Virginia Tech, Boston.
It's not a ton.
No, they're all at home. So they've got a really friendly schedule. If they get by Clemson early, I think both teams get to 10 wins. Both teams get in the playoff. But the hidden meaning behind that game is last year, right? Like the playoff snub, the rivalry that exists between these two teams. There's going to be a lot of heat in that game. Both programs super successful too. Good for college football when you have Miami and Notre Dame with good football teams. And I think both have that. November 7th, if looking at that part of the schedule, it's a great day for college football. You're going to have Oregon, Ohio State, that game, a couple others. It's going to be fantastic.
Let me go back to the Texas-Oklahoma thing with the Red River rivalry. My hot take is I just don't think Texas is going to be able to block Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma wins that game. I feel pretty good saying that on July 29th, right? We'll see. But how good does Texas need to be up front to put the pieces together of what you're talking about of where they need to be for Sark?
Better than last year. I mean, start there. You have Gooseby, the tackle that's going to be making a lot of preseason All-American list. And you raise a good point because Venables in that defensive front, they can wreak havoc. And I've learned
he'll come actually in waves too. He plays 7 guys.
They've got some guys on that interior that can play. They've got good receivers. I've learned over the years, I don't think I picked the Texas-Oklahoma game right ever. I don't every time the reverse happened. I did get it right last year. I had a feeling Texas was going to win that game. Called it last year. But yeah, that'll be a really good game. But to answer your question, part of the Arch Manning struggles last year was the offensive line was bad. It wasn't all that, but it was part of it. Especially in those Florida and Ohio State losses. I really think week 2 against Ohio State, a rematch. Texas has lost the last, I want to say 4 matchups against the Buckeyes. They've played great games. And that's one that they need to win, because for all the success Texas has had the last couple of years, they are 0-5 against Georgia and Ohio State. And that's, if you want to be the heavyweight, right, you've got to beat one of those schools. I know they beat Alabama a couple years ago in Tuscaloosa, but that wasn't the Alabama juggernaut. It was a lesser version of like Saban's dynasty teams. And they've got to beat a Georgia and Ohio State. I think that's the big statement game for Texas this year.
Is there a more underrated quarterback in college football, especially in crunch time, for a huge program than Gunnar Stockton?
Underrated for sure. He's a baller, right? Like he can.
I mean, and Bobo's answered the critics too, right? Yep. Like, pretty sure he's in the clear now.
He's great. I think Gunnar Stockton's an awesome football player. I like his mobility. I like you were talking about playing catch earlier. I always say he's one of those guys that can pitch. And by that, I mean, when you look at all the pro football focus stats, I always sort these elite quarterbacks by the one stat I probably pay way too much attention to is, can they throw between 10 to 19 yards? Can they hit that percentage? Because that's the NFL percentage. Anybody can throw deep and anybody can throw a bubble screen. Can you hit in that range? And Gunnar's and are you turning the ball over in that range?
And he does it in crunch time.
And that's the other one. Are you good in the fourth quarter? And that guy's good. And I know they lost to Ole Miss last year, but that loss wasn't on Gunnar Stockton. There were some questionable decisions made along the way. He is a baller, and I like everything around him. And again, it's another reason your Georgia national championship pick 5 years ago, we'd be like, oh yeah, way to risk it all. It's actually a really shrewd, tough pick. I really like it.
All right, let me just real quick. I want to play a quick game of over underrated with all these great quarterbacks. Just the national perception versus how you view their game. Dante Moore.
Overrated.
I agree. Julian Sand.
Underrated.
Agree. Jared Maava.
Underrated.
Jaden, I said Jared.
Underrated. Led the Big Ten in passing yards. Underrated.
CJ Carr.
Overrated by a touch.
I say he's pretty close to properly rated, I think.
Right. Can I just say rated?
Yeah,
he's probably he's probably right. They probably got him about right.
Sam Levitt.
Overrated.
John Mateer.
Underrated when healthy.
You might have batted 1,000.
I would say overrated last year, underrated this year.
You agree with that?
On
That's me. Like almost to a T.
On Mateer, I think he was overrated last year. I think he's underrated this year.
That's a fair take it because he was overrated coming in. Played really well against Michigan early in the year. I do think his game changed after he had the hand injury, though. And he's probably a little underrated. I always use the phrase undersold this year for sure.
Two more.
Mm-hmm.
Arch Manning.
Rated because I think he's where he should be right now.
Overrated last year, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Trinidad Chambliss.
Underrated. He's phenomenal. I think he would have been a first-round pick last year. Maybe just rated because he's our top quarterback going into the season at Sporting News. He was on a heater at the end of the year. Go watch the Oklahoma game again. Made NFL throws. I don't care about his size. Love his game. Ole Miss really changed when they put him in there, and I love his story. I think Trinidad Chambliss is one of those guys that we just said it, fourth quarter, you need a score to take the ball down the field. I mean, he did his job. It's just Carson Beck did it right back in that bowl game last year.
So refreshing to hear a national prowess be authentic about Dante Moore. Bill, I don't get it. I don't. I'm with you there. I just don't get it.
He's good, but we're doing a lot.
I don't get it.
All right, another tough question since you seem okay answering them.
He's good.
Major program more likely to be looking for a head coach this year, USC or Florida State?
Florida State, because I think you can't have a third straight losing season. I do like what USC has coming back. I mean, we have them in our playoff field. And that's taken a leap of faith because they do have a tough schedule. Lincoln Riley was on the podium yesterday. I saw a lot of being written that, okay, we believe him this time. And I do on some level too. I think there's some confidence within what and I think he has some confidence in what he has up front on offense around the playmakers like Jaden Maava, who's a stud. And then I think bringing in Gary Patterson, we'll see if it works. It can't be worse. Their defense can't be worse, right? And I think, and maybe that's last year, but the year before Danton Lynn, they were pretty good, but it's not enough, right? Like Danton Lynn will do fine at Penn State, but I think, Gary Patterson, we'll see if it works. If it does, they'll be a playoff team. And Florida State, this hangover from not making the playoff a couple years ago, it has to be a nightmare for Mike Norvell because I think they have players and good pieces, but it's not quite what it was.
I mean,
that is sensational.
They're just spinning the roulette wheel with the transfer portal every year, and that's a really tough way to go about business. And I'll be honest, that's why I've got some hesitation with Texas Tech.
I'm out on Texas Tech this year.
I feel like they're sort of they're in danger of being in a Florida State holding pattern of the way they acquire players.
Could Arizona make some noise, Bill?
Yeah, I mean, Noah Fafita's played a lot of football. Brennan's kind of settled in there, off the radar Big 12 team a little bit, but they've had the pieces to make a nice run. I think they could be one of those Big 12 sleepers. I talked about Kansas State a little bit earlier. I think they could be a Big 12 sleeper, especially if Klein and Johnson work out. But it's going to be hard to crack that top tier. You mentioned being out on Texas Tech. I don't know where to be, because I do think they have some pieces on that defense that are really good. Ben Roberts, AJ Holmes, the talent's there for sure. And the one thing at their advantage is they don't play Utah and they don't play BYU.
And they get Houston at home.
So you said if they win that game, it's hard to see them not getting to at least 10-2 or being in
I mean,
At minimum, a
unless
funky-
they have
yeah.
a toast of Arizona,
Arizona
State,
State
last year at
yeah.
Baylor or at Okie State. That's late though.
At minimum, being in a funky tiebreaker to get in the championship game if they win that game.
I don't think they have a ton of margin for error because of the conference perception, right? So they can't have that shaky, iffy loss if you put it against the resume of, another team that has a better conference affiliation.
Like a 10-2 Notre Dame probably gets in over a 10-2 Texas Tech.
Agreed.
I like BYU
Texas Tech
a
will be
lot.
favored in every game.
I like BYU a lot.
Me
I
too.
like Bear Bachmeier. I like LJ Martin. I like the running game. I think Kalani's just the trivia question we keep throwing at people is only programmed to win 10 or more games each of the last 2 years and not get in the playoff. I mean, that's what Kalani's been able to do. Margin for error is interesting. They get the Notre Dame game at home, and that'll be fun. So
low scoring in that one.
Yeah, that feels like 20-17 maybe. But will be a fun game. Provo and some of those Big 12 teams are finding out like going to Provo at night's not easy. Like it's just not. And
it's going to be sensational.
So that'll be fun. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do in the Big 12.
Bill, last one for me. This is going to seem like a non sequitur here, but it goes back to a conversation we had yesterday. Dan Mullen had a great year last year, obviously at UNLV. We'll see what happens this year. If he is destined for another shot at a Power 4 school, do you have in mind like sort of an archetype of a school that's a good fit for Dan Mullen?
I mean, wherever he wants to go, he's flashy, obviously. Said last year he had no interest in going back to the SEC. So, but to me, he's a guy that I don't see him going to the Big 12 or ACC. It would be a Big 10 school or his name came up with Michigan and Penn State because he's got some Midwest roots. So I just kind of like him where he's at. He did a great job in the studio. I thought he was an outstanding coach at Florida, by the way. But, maybe he takes over a Big 12 school, maybe. But I just see him, he's happy where he's at. Maybe he builds UNLV up to something. But if he were to take a larger job, now that we were talking about it and we just maybe talk ourselves into it, what if Florida State came open?
Yeah. So that's like there's going to be the Jason Eck to Wisconsin stuff if something goes wrong with Fickell, but JG Ginn and
GJ Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny, and probably Mullen. Do you think could you see Brom leaving? Because they may get Ole Miss in that opener. They're
really good.
They're way good.
Brom's one of my favorite coaches in college football.
But he's a Louisville guy.
Yeah,
there has to be. They win that game, and all of a sudden Louisville is going to make a run. Somebody's going to back up the Brinks truck.
They got Lincoln Keenholz. They got running Isaac Brown. Look at his yards per carry.
One of the most explosive players in all of college football.
Yeah, and Cleve Lubin on the other side. They're going to be good. And then, I was like rewinding to the Dan Mullen thing. Dan Mullen actually might consider Florida State to spite Florida. You know what I mean? And what a headline that would be.
And you'd love it because
we love a petty king.
Yeah,
we love a petty.
Nobody appreciates petty like my.
I'm with you. I should just. I could do this show with you guys for hours because I feel like I'm petty. I'm also very, very petty when it comes to sports, even when I don't need to be.
Oh, it's always one of my favorite segments.
Bill, appreciate the time. Great stuff, and we'll have to do this again soon. That was fantastic.
Hey, anytime, guys. Thanks for having me on. Take care.
Thanks, Bill. He's great.
That is Bill Bender from the Sporting News.
Trying to gatekeep him. He's like, I want to save him. No, man, let's go.
He likes talking to us. Let's have him on all the time.
Let's go.
Shane. What are we doing?
Dude, that overrated, underrated.
No, he was. I think I agreed with all of them. I don't have a problem with material. Like I do think he's underrated this year. Like I think we got that. That's again one of the ones that I feel like is sort of arbitrary. Like everybody knows he broke his hand.
The Trinidad Chambliss love is universal.
I get how good he was last year.
I'm a little scared of that.
I get how good he was last year.
Moshe Webb is the top quarterback in the country.
I'm a little hesitant.
Me too.
I'm a little hesitant. And I don't really have a good reason. Besides Kiffin leaving, I'm just a little hesitant.
For me, again, not having good reason, could he really do what he did last year? He went on a heater.
Yeah, what was he, like 30-3?
Bro, just the playmaking.
That was sort of my question with Indiana the other day, where it's like, there's only this can't be at that level forever. Like you're not going 30.
If it is, if at Trinidad, I'm ready to tip. I mean,
that's what I mean. Like you're not going 30-3 every year. That's not a thing,
dude. Again, Bill said it. Watch Oklahoma. I'll tell you, go watch that Georgia game.
If he
back
does,
foot from his butt, like sideways.
Yeah, if he does, I'll give all the flowers. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla. We'll be back tomorrow. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.